Black Magic, starring Donald Von Griffin, Kieran Torres, Elsie Danaberger, Lloyd Montgomery, me, the GM, Brandon Blackmore. Last week, you guys basically solved the mystery. You figured out that Dr. Fanu was behind the vampire murders, that the mob, the Mayo, specifically the Parain, were somehow behind it as well. You're not exactly sure how.
They were probably copycatting to get the other ones in trouble.
Well, it's either that or they were trying to create an army of Wolfman soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh, Coyote Man soldiers, anyway.
Sadly, you can't interrogate Dr. Fanu or question her or learn anything more about what she was up to because she died of a brain aneurysm while in police custody, which is just terribly sad.
Aw.
I regret nothing.
Hey, if you didn't do it, I would have.
About an hour before that, she stormed into the Café Azure Americain and went off on just an astonishing tirade. Tirade? Is that how it's pronounced?
A mad scientist. Tirade.
Mixed in there were her anger at you guys for foiling her research. It was her chance to redeem her good name in the eyes of the medical authorities of Paris, who had no vision, and due to a combination of their calcified, limited scope of vision and their unwillingness to consider her as a serious researcher because of her gender, because she's a woman, and so on and so forth. Oh, and her medical degree was not at a Paris medical university. It was in Bayern, a German medical university, and apparently the imperial.
They put out mad scientists like nobody's business.
Apparently the imperial medical establishment tends to sneer at you unless you went to medical school in Paris. So they called her mad, but she would show them. She'd show them all. Mad. She was going to show them all. Among other things, they did not accept her theory of blood fractionating, which is actually a real thing, which she believed was going to be the key to curing a host of blood-based illnesses and diseases and syndromes, including hemophilia.
Wow.
And you've ruined it. You've ruined it all. Anyway. So. I hope you're happy.
Oh, yeah, ecstatic.
Mildly pleased.
And then the police took her away, and about an hour later, she died of an aneurysm in a cell. There will be an investigation.
Where aneurysms happen is in a cellular environment.
There will be an investigation, and it will be found that the police did nothing wrong. And she died of natural causes, probably due a combination of anxiety and stress and guilt over finally having been caught. It was simply too much for her, and she died. So that's what you'll read in the paper in a day or two. Although, if you ask anybody at the police department, they'll tell you that is what will appear in the paper in a couple of days after they perform the investigation.
After they thoroughly finish investigating the case.
Yes, after a thorough investigation, that's pretty much what it'll say. So then, all right then. So that's in the evening on, we'll say Tuesday, because time and space have no meaning. So that's the evening Tuesday. And then, on Wednesday, a police officer comes by the Café Azure Americain. Mm-hmm. And as far as the newspapers are reporting that mystery is solved, vampire murders solved, unhinged doctor to blame. is essentially how the headlines read. It sounds better in French. So
It usually does. Why
it
else
has
would we
a
speak this language?
it has a file photo of Dr. Fanu from, I don't know, some number of years ago, and with across the word saying "disgraced" across the picture. Police officer comes by Cafe Azure American looking for Johnny Diamond. I assume he's there.
Yeah, usually, yes.
Mr. Diamond. He takes off his hat and he, curtsies or whatever you do. And Detective Inspector Seagal asked me to come find you and asked if you would come to a crime scene.
Well, all of a sudden, you're in his good graces again. He can afford to be seen in public with you again.
And then he's planning to arrest you.
Potato, potato. Who can tell these days?
I have a car outside if I was told to bring you if you were available. Sir. Monsieur.
Yes,
sure.
I suppose I should. Hopefully this time there won't be any assassination attempts or prices on my head for helping him.
I wouldn't know about that, monsieur. Oh, he said... wait, I have to say it right. Because he said not to say it the way he said it. He said to say it politely.
Now I want to hear how he said it.
If your associates are available, he invites them as well. Please, monsieur.
Now I really want to know what he called us.
I glance around as Doc Celadon at his table.
Oh, I'm sure I can be.
Okay.
If it's evening, I'll be there.
And yeah.
For weekend.
We'll say it's early
On a
evening.
Tuesday, we're probably not playing, so I'm probably just there for the fun.
Early evening Wednesday. Tuesday was when Dr. Fanu had her tirade, got arrested, and then died. Wednesday morning, newspapers announce success. Everyone's safe now. Vampire murder is solved. Hooray for the Cambrai-sur-Mer Gendarmerie. So, and early Wednesday evening, gentleman, a police officer, uniformed police officer, comes asking for Johnny Diamond and friends, associates.
Okay.
Associates. That's the word the cop uses. Your associates, if you please. I'm sure.
Okay.
Anyway, so you pile into the back of a police car.
I'll make the rounds and let everybody know that the good detective inspector would like to see us at a crime scene.
Oh, and here I thought it was
That
going to be
sounds like fun.
I hope it's not another vampire murder. Then we'd have to tell him who actually was up to it.
So you pile on the back. Well, most of you pile on the back, and one person gets in the front, I guess. And a police officer drives you at a safe but somewhat urgent speed to a small warehouse in a kind of disreputable part of town. There were a couple of police cars there, a couple of police officers, a couple of sawhorses blocking an alleyway. This cop stops and gets out, and he opens the door for Mr. Diamond, and by that time I'm sure everybody's already getting out on their own. And he escorts you past the sawhorses, down the alley to a doorway, into a small business, a packing business. They take things and they put them in boxes and then ship them, I guess. All right. Goes in there, down a hallway, and to a bunch of police officers standing around just outside a door, and there you see Detective Inspector Seagal. And I'll share a picture of him because I like his picture. There you go. And he's there, and you guys walk up, and he looks up at you, Any
Detective Inspector, how wonderful to see you again. I do hope nobody's trying to frame me for murder again.
He just gives you a blank look. He says, "Well, I certainly hope not." However, funny you should say something like that.
Someone is trying to frame me.
No.
But there is a murder.
Yes. Your entertainer friend has it right. I'm sorry, what was your name again, sir?
Leslie.
Mr. Leslie. And the doctor and the young woman, Miss Desjardins, we've met many times. Okay, so here's the thing. At first, I did not understand these crimes, and then I thought I kind of did. I figured it was something had to do with magic. You remember this conversation, right?
Yes, and
We agreed
turned out to be
not
even more
vampires.
interesting than
Absurd
that.
that it was vampires. Probably something to do with magic. Then we find out it was a medical experiment. It's gone crazy.
Wacky.
All right then. So then I thought, I know what's going on. I know who's doing it. I know why. It's all clear. I mean, it's insane, but at least it's understandable. And then this morning we found this, and now I'm unsure again. So I thought you might be able to shed some light because you have, and your associates have an unusual perspective on these things, and maybe you could point me in the right direction again. You may want to brace yourselves. This will be shocking. And he turns around and he gestures to the police officers to move out of the way of the door and walks into a room. And in the room, who follows, who doesn't? Everybody follow?
I
I'll
will
follow.
follow.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a scaffoldy kind of hanging device like you found at the other place where the guys were being framed. You do not see blood all over the floor. There's no drain in the floor. It's just a fairly large, mostly empty room. What was in here has been all pushed to one side. And over there, against the wall, there is a not terribly neat stack, but a stack of bodies, like 20 dead bodies, all of which have been drained of blood.
Might be old.
And okay, so he just walks in and he gestures at this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, now, here's the thing that puzzles me. And he says, he turns to a guy who's over looking at the bodies. He says, Monsieur Doctor, please come tell these people what you told me. And the doctor turns around and it's this fella. And he comes over and he's like, oh, hello again. So nice to see you. I don't often see repeat visitors in my business. So,
Yes,
we met once before. I'm Dr.
A pleasure, Dr. Martin.
Exactly. So you were Mr. Diamond and Mademoiselle Desjardins and the other doctor, and I don't remember your name, and I don't think I remember you, the other person.
Probably never met me.
Oh,
I don't know if you come.
Dr. Martin, he says. Donald. Call me Don. Or Doctor. Or Dr.
I'm
Martin.
I'm Leslie Tardival.
Mr. Tardival. A pleasure to meet you. And the detective inspector, he's just kind of like waiting. He's like, you can tell them anytime. He's like, oh, yes. Here's the interesting thing. All of the other bodies that we found that were killed just like this, and I've looked at these people, and they are killed the exact same way. They were prepared when we found them. They had been wrapped in plastic and then chilled or even frozen. None of these were. And those other bodies, the ones that we've found, were killed over a period of time, like a week or two apart, let's say. These, and I've counted 14, these were all killed within the last 24 to 36 hours. And they're, as you can see, they're not wrapped or anything. And it's, this is just room temperature. I mean, within a day or two, this is going to be an aggressively unpleasant atmosphere in this room. It's actually not that great right now. It's kind of stinky, but it's not like overwhelmingly stinky. It's just sort of like it smells kind of bad in here. Like you don't really nail it as like decomposing bodies right off the bat. But yeah, so now, so that's, they're killed the same way, but not
More than one group
the
operating
same
this
way. So
It's weird.
Somebody was working with her.
Well, of course someone was working with her.
Doc, you say the bodies were exsanguinated? Do they
Oh,
still
yes.
have blood in the brain like the other ones did?
I don't have the equipment with me to do that, but preliminary examination indicates probably. Although these were not left, these cadavers were not left inverted as long, so there's quite a bit of, and he uses medical terms for like blood pooling on the back of the body as they were laid down, that kind of thing.
Right.
So this was all done fairly rapidly compared to the previous victims that we found, or that you found, or that he found. Well, whoever found them.
I'll ask the inspector if I can inspect the bodies.
He turns to Dr. Martin. He says, "Are you done? I mean, is there anything? Are they going to mess anything up?" And he's like, "No. Well, I mean, what will you be doing?" He asks.
I just wanted to look them over.
Well, oh, okay. That should be fine. Do you, I'll come with you to make sure that you don't disrupt any later examinations I will have to do.
Please. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on.
He follows you over there and just watches.
I go ahead and get Carol aside, and so that no one can hear us, ask her. So we know who's doing this. The real question is it worth our lives?
Well, they're going to keep doing it. Or unless they're done, unless they got enough here.
Well, they weren't. Well, that's right. She took him aside. So I was just going to say it. They're just doing it to frame somebody else, I thought.
Well,
No, the other one was to frame somebody else.
Oh, Brandon, while the doctor is there,
Yes.
keeping an eye on me, ask him if they show any other wounds. Defensive wounds, wounds anywhere else on their bodies.
I'm glad you asked that. That's because that's another thing. Previously, none of the victims had like any obvious injuries. No defensive wounds, no cuts, no blows to the head, nothing like that. It's almost as though they were, although a few showed indications of bruising around the mouth and nose. So we think that they were either suffocated or asphyxiated, something like that. Nothing that left any chemical residue. These injuries all over the place. So this gentleman here, he like pulls back a cadaver's hair. He's like, you can see here at the base of the skull, blunt trauma. This young woman here, you could see gratuitous bruising around the upper arm. She has some defensive wounds on the backs of her hands, and he'll basically show you a couple of people like that.
Okay. No evidence of torture, but certainly evidence that they put up a fight.
Some of them, not all of them, but some of these here in particular.
Have any of them been identified yet?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. At least I don't know that. I don't think we're quite to that point yet.
Okay.
The
While I'm standing
inspector
here,
thought it was very important to bring you people out here. Apparently, you have previous experience with this killer.
while I'm standing there, I'll lean down like I'm inspecting one of the wounds on the bodies, and I'll go ahead and do a disguised retrocognition to see what I can see.
Okie dokie. Let's roll some dice. You roll some dice, and I'll roll some dice, and I'll tell you what you get.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go back to the other people, and then I'll tell you what you get.
Okay.
I rolled okay, but not great.
17. Same here.
I got a 13. So 3, 4, 5, 6. You get an extra bonus, so I'll give you something cool.
Okay.
In addition to just the normal stuff I was going to give you. And I know what it's going to be. Meanwhile, back over with Johnny and Carol and Leslie, who have been pulled aside and they're chatting amongst themselves in hushed whispers. You think you know who actually did this? Is that what you're saying? To each other?
No. Yeah, but that's just an educated guess.
But is it worth all of our lives?
Even if we just stood back and let them try to solve it, they're probably still going to get drawn into it one way or another.
Out of character question begs to be asked. If the Pixies have been making trouble for the people who are responsible for this, they may be too busy to cleaning up messes to come after us. Is that true?
Oh, that's right. You sent some minor fairies after Alexander Montan, didn't you?
And some of the other people of his group, and told the Pixies to have fun at the mortals' expense. In other words, they could let their imaginations run wild.
Well, you haven't heard back from them.
Okay.
But that's not unusual, because they're the sorts of creatures that you will send them to the store for bread, and they'll go to the store. Maybe they'll get bread. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll get distracted.
Which is why I gave them their own. Do whatever you want. Have fun.
No. I'm reminded of a scene in Doctor Who, where it's, "Where have you been?" "I went out for coffee." That was 3 weeks ago, in Edinburgh.
True.
So
Okay.
you haven't called them back to get a report or anything, so you're not exactly sure what went on with that.
Well, we'll know. We'll find out if they what are they called? The Parrain, or which ones were they?
The Parrain or the Godfathers. They're like the main, the number one group.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever group was trying to frame the other group.
Yeah, that was, you believe.
Montan's group.
Yeah, Montan's with the Parrain.
I'm sure we'll find something out eventually. I'm not that eager to go out of my way to check on it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, meanwhile, back over Doxeladon, he casts a surreptitious retrocognition thing, and rewinding. Here's what happens, in reverse. It's not exactly in reverse. It's more like. Well, I'll describe what happens.
In a backward strobe light?
It's there were a half dozen people in here working on people, and it was like an assembly line. They were working quickly and not really bothering with the wrapping and plastic and all that. They just were they had people over here, and from time to time a couple of people would come in and bring somebody else, usually dragging them, and it was over the course of about a day and a half they killed these 14 people. And the staff, if you want to call them that, the people involved would rotate over time, and you get pretty clear pictures of most of these people. And you might even recognize.
Did they drain the blood into containers, or did they
Yes,
just drain the blood?
They drained it into containers, every drop. Fastidious about that. Nothing went to waste. But the people, once they were done, they took them down and just put them over into the pile, stacked them like cordwood, as the saying goes. You saw Dr. Fanu come in, be here for several hours, leave, come back, be here for several hours, leave,
So
come
was
back.
her group.
She was clearly in charge, but she wasn't here the entire time. She seemed distressed about what was going on, even though she was in charge of it. So, mixed feelings, maybe, I guess. So here's the fun thing that I'll give you, because you hit 3 over what you needed. At one point, someone came in the room, looked at you, dead at you. I mean, not right away. Like they're in there for like a few minutes talking to Dr. Fanu, and then they like look around and they look dead at you, and they cast a spell, which fogs what they look like from the moment they walked in the room until the moment they left. That's the fun thing you get.
Interesting. So there was another mage involved.
So you know that with Mage Sight, you can tell if somebody's scrying. Well, in theory, if you roll well, you have the chance to perceive that somebody is spying on you magically, and if you are lucky or roll really well, or just are really good at it, you can perceive whether the person spying on you is in the future or the past. In this case, somebody in the past perceived you in the future spying on them. So that's fun.
It was able to completely blanket their appearance. That's good. Yeah.
Well, they couldn't stop you from seeing, or presumably if they could have, they would have. But apparently they could and did successfully fog what they looked like to you in the future. Just them. Not Dr. Fanu, not any of the other people. Just them.
Okay. You said I recognize some of the other people that were working in here?
Oh yeah, they're parade thugs. Yeah. Like
So
at
she
least
was
two of them
working-
at least two of them you recognize from the last time they tried to frame somebody. Although this one was clearly not about framing people. It was about getting as much as they could in the window of time they had. That's clearly what's going on.
So she was being financed by the Parain, it sounds like.
Okay, and this all took place before the doctor got caught.
That's correct.
Okay.
So she knew that it was limited time and sent her research on to be continued by others.
Theoretically.
Is the timeline wise, it's
She's
after
a scientist, one would assume.
well, it's after you guys, Leslie in particular. It's after you guys
Trashed her lab.
after you trashed her lab, and before she got caught, and so it's like a fairly narrow window.
Okay, so then we know exactly when this all went down.
Yeah, over the course of about, I don't know, how long did I say it was? About 24 hours? Just before she stormed into your club and got arrested, and then died.
In rapid succession.
Hmm.
Oh, I just had a really good idea, and I wish I'd done it.
What's that?
Now I'm wishing that I created a spell so that it could fake Dr. Fanu's death so that she'd wake up about 48 hours later. You always get these good ideas too late.
Yeah,
Maybe next
48
time.
hours later, they might be embalmed by then.
48 hours? That, depending on how it's timed, that might be in the middle of her autopsy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Oh,
measuring her.
that's cruel.
They've got her spleen on a scale. She wakes up.
Screams, yeah, and expires this one.
That's
That's
God,
nasty.
that's gruesome. Oh my God, that's gruesome.
Oh wait, no, I'm trying to remember what show that was.
Don't. So
I'm glad you didn't.
Firefly.
All right.
That would have brought attention to you.
Firefly. Dude wakes up on the autopsy table in Firefly.
ew. Well, I mean, it's happened in other shows too.
All
So-
right, so
Yeah, but that's the one that really comes to mind for some reason.
All right, so the detective walks over to the doctor and says, "So, have you found out everything you can here? Can we go ahead and pack them up and take them back to the morgue
Yeah,
for identification and all that?"
yes.
Okay. Walks over to Johnny Diamond. Says, "So, Johnny, Mr. Diamond, do you want to look around? Do you see some sense here that I don't see?"
Well, these bodies are all between, say, 24 and 36 hours old, right?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Well, actually, the detective looks at the doctor, and the doctor says, "Yes, I can say that with reasonable certainty based on the temperature." And he holds up a thermometer with a really long needle on it.
a core thermometer. Well, the doctor was still at liberty at that point, was she not?
Yes. No, we were looking for her, but we hadn't found her yet.
I strongly suspect this is just the last gasp of her handiwork. She was frenzied collecting blood. You do remember that huge vat of it we saw at the St. Benedict's, right?
Yes. Which is evidence. I mean, that was taken into evidence, so...
Precisely.
That seems the most logical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in her desperation, she... And driven by her mad obsession, she...
To try and finish her work. Yeah.
To finish her... Okay.
Yeah, Johnny
no,
could
I
say
think I
something
can...
right now that would complicate things, so he is shutting up.
Okay. So really, this is just the last gasp of a sick mind. Knowing that the end was near, that the police were closing the noose around her neck, she does her last desperate gasp. Okay, I think I can write this up in a report that my superiors will like. All right. Well, he claps Johnny Diamond on the shoulder, says, "Thank you. You've been a great help."
Always glad to be assistance to the gendarme.
And I'm glad when you are. Marcel, please take these people wherever they need to go. And that's the cop who brought you. He's like, yes, sir. Okay, and you can go.
Okay. and after we're back at the club, but post that guy heading back to with the car.
You mean like the big police car is driving away?
Big police car's driving away, and Johnny turns and walks into his club, and as he does, he says, "Good thing the detective inspector never thought to ask, who ended up with all the blood?"
Well, I can actually find that
That
out.
is a good question.
I mean, I assume she sent her notebooks and the blood ahead for her research to continue.
But who would have supported her? Remember, everybody thought she was crazy.
No,
Did she have a little?
Would you like a list?
True.
They start with kill your family and go up from there.
True.
No,
Yeah.
the people who caught her, the police and the media are calling her crazy. Whoever was supporting her, and we know someone was supporting her. Someone was going to run the bodies for her.
Oh yeah, the thugs who were moving
Yes.
the bodies around and exsanguinating them were all Parain thugs.
She is completely insane, and that coyote man creature that attacked us was patently impossible. I agree. Let's all have a drink.
And yeah, like I said, all the thugs that were actually draining the bodies were Parain.
Yes, we know exactly who's behind it, and would rather stay alive.
Okay.
Not going to mention the magician.
I predicted that's not going to work well, but unless it
Yeah,
weird.
it's non-magical. It's medical, not magical. So it's not Carol's thing. It's not her department.
Yep. I was
All right.
It is.
If you want me to pursue it, I can.
It is definitely people who will kill us, our families, and anyone who happens to have the bad luck of dining in the same establishment.
That's if they can break your charm.
Yeah, I think the demon would have something to say about that.
Yes, but occasionally I have to leave this room.
Yeah, that's true.
Demon's probably not really good at fighting fires either.
Probably not.
I'm willing to let this one settle for a while, as long as it's not happening in Camera Sumer.
Mm.
Then
And if there is,
it's somebody else's issue.
and if it's a gang war that comes out of it and they destroy each other, all the better.
all the worse for the people of Cameray Sumer who
And
get
yeah,
caught.
that is unfortunate. Yeah.
So as long as it is not happening in my city, I'm okay.
Brandon, just out of curiosity, you've mentioned before that the various members of the milieu have gone after each other before, right?
It's generally bad for business.
Yes.
So the people who are in charge try to discourage that, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes there are reasons that you do really just need to kill a whole lot of people. So
Okay. How often do civilians get caught in the crossfire?
it's not like the gangster's code to leave civilians out of it, but it's bad form. It really is. Because the police, for one thing, the police are way less interested in crime when it's gangster on gangster crime. If a known gangster, I'll give you an example, because this actually happens from time to time. A known gangster will be just a car will pull up and dump a body, and the car will drive away. The police will find out the guy's got known criminal connections. He's been killed in a way that matches the way gangland killings work. That's pretty much the end of the investigation right there.
Oh, okay.
So when innocent bystanders get involved or get injured, they kind of have to look into it further. So they try to avoid that.
Who owned the packing house?
Oh, nobody important.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you Johnny Diamond can call in a contact or even ask the detective, and he'll tell you, oh, it belonged to a gentleman. He died about a month ago. It actually belongs to his wife, who is in the process of trying to sell it, but as far as we can tell, they have no connection to anything.
No, they wouldn't, would they?
But from what we can tell, it had been vacant for a month or two.
All right.
Which makes it a perfect target for such things.
Oh, and depending upon how you decide to, or what you decide to do as far as pursuing this, we might want to take some basic magical precautions. I think they may have a wizard on staff.
Hmm.
Him I didn't recognize, though.
Do you think he was more powerful than you are, or less powerful?
I didn't push it too far because the trying to break through a clairvoyant spell like that, especially a retrocognitive clairvoyant spell, can be kind of dangerous to the wizards in question. So it's not the sort of thing I wanted to pursue too terribly hard, but I'd say he was probably less powerful than me.
So we'll assume that he was more powerful.
Because you're so modest.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I don't think there are that many. My character doesn't think there are that many wizards as powerful as him anywhere.
You haven't met many. So, and you could actually count the ones you know of within 1,000 kilometers on one hand.
Yeah, and they tend to be specialists like necromancers or demonologists and stuff.
And tend not to be trying to kill you or do stuff, or you just don't mess with their stuff.
Well, that's bad form.
It's a kind of mutually assured destruction sort of thing that the top level wizards really don't want to throw down on against one another. It tends to get ugly.
So, at this point, I just want to read the room. You are not about to put on your deerstalker caps, grab your pipes, and rush out to the moors to investigate. I mean, you're more or less going, we'll just leave it here.
We know what's going on, and we really prefer living.
Okay, fair enough.
And my guess is with the doctor dead, Parain probably aren't going to be draining any more bodies. So, to all intents and purposes, the vampire murders are probably over.
Not in Cameray Sumer.
Sumer, yeah.
Actually, Brandon.
Yeah?
I was going to get a hold of the medical examiner again and see if I could get a sample of the blood from one of the cadavers.
Okay, you can do that. You bribe him?
Oh.
I assume. Because
Yes, I did.
he's like willing to do it,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't feel right unless you bribe him.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Yeah.
All right,
I
I'll give you
I
a.
assume that-
I was gonna say this is France after all.
He'll give you a test tube with a rubber stopper in it and a paper label taped to it that has the person's name on it.
Oh, okay.
So, here you go. You have this one.
Great.
I'll just get some more. There's at least another half liter in there, so it'll be fine.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
I just wanted-
I wouldn't drink that. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do with it,
Thank you for that advice.
but I wouldn't drink it. I mean, it's been in the body for like a day at least, so not fresh. Right then.
I'll look at him like he's the weird one.
Why is everybody giving that look?
Because he looks weird, too.
All right.
I'll be right back.
But essentially, I'm just going to cast a spell with law of similarity to find out where the rest of this guy's blood went. My theory is it's at St. Benedict's, or it's been drained from the vat at St. Benedict's, but I want to see if they were moving it to another location.
Let me think. Okay, it's sort of like an I know that you know that I know kind of thing. So I'm trying to like think backward, like how would that work? Okay. So what I need to do is actually do that 3 times, which is crazy. So this is me and then you. Holy shit. Wow. Okay.
A 1 in boxcars. No.
No. All right. Roll 2d6 plus whatever for doing your it's reason plus power to do your. Oh, and you get an extra die for the blood.
Okay. 21.
Zowie. Nine, 15 plus 6. Holy shit! You rolled exactly what you needed. Exactly.
Yay me.
Yeah, is no kidding, because the person there is very clearly someone trying to prevent you from doing exactly what you're doing.
Aha.
There's very clearly, like when you're casting it, it's like you can tell. It's like cellophane. I mean, not literally. It's not like weak. I don't mean in the sense it's weak. I mean, it's just like you're trying to smell something, and it's sealed in Tupperware, but you get through it. Yeah, and you know where it is. Mm-hmm. It is in the basement of St. Benedict's.
Okay.
Actually, yes, that's all I'll give you, because you made it exactly. It's under St. Benedict's.
Right, see if I can open up a channel in Scry to get a real-time image of what's going on around it.
Okay, make your scrying's rolls.
21 again.
That you can't do. And it's that time, it's not so much that you're blocked, it's like you're looking for something that's not there. It's not a shield, it's concealed. If that makes any sense. Like
Okay.
if you weren't actually looking, you wouldn't even realize that it's supposed to be there. Sort of. It's all magic-y and stuff.
Right.
And if you hadn't had the blood, you wouldn't have found that either. But you did, so you did. You doing all this at your place?
Yeah, at my apartment.
Okay, that's fine. So, well, you're spending your evening doing this. Johnny Diamond, Carol, Leslie, as the evening goes on, what are you guys doing?
I am doing my best to mind my own business.
Oh my God, who are you and what have you done with Johnny Diamond?
No, I think I know what's gone on here. No, actually, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to contact Olivia Delabarth.
Wait, who's that? Hang on. Don't give me a... I know the name. I know it's one of my... Oh, okay, yeah, she's the assistant of... Okay. And Juliet Girardeau is the other assistant. I have to keep the assistant straight. Okay, she's the young woman who's the assistant to Dr. Fanu. Okay, so you call her where? At the hospital?
I'm assuming they closed the hospital down.
That's a safe assumption. However, if Johnny calls, he answers the phone, and somebody answers the St. Benedict's. How may I direct your call?
Olivia Delabarth, please.
Oh, who may I say is calling?
Mr. Diamond.
One moment, please. Click. A few minutes later, a young woman answers the phone and says, Mr. Diamond?
Yeah.
I'm glad you called. I was planning to come see you later this evening.
Oh?
Well, I wanted to thank you. I mean, yes, well, I want to say this in person. Yes, what's happened is horrible, and I terribly misjudged Dr. Fanu. I thought that she had the best interests of the people who come here at heart. But it all worked out for the best, and I wanted to thank you because now St. Benedict's can actually focus on its mission of helping people. And we'll get past this, because these people have no one else to turn to.
Yes, that it is this mission of helping people that I'd like to talk to you about.
Oh, okay. Well, there's just so much to do here. I couldn't possibly come by your restaurant until 7 or 8. Is that okay?
That would be perfect.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Click.
I'm gonna...
Make a, what would it be? Not manipulation, not culture. Social. Make a social roll. Social's a skill, right?
No, there's investigation, manipulation, and diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Sorry, it used to be social, now it's
removed.
diplomacy. Make diplomacy.
Okay.
After all. Because you're rolling against stuff. Everything's rolling against stuff. Oh, okay.
19.
Wow. Okay. You're pretty sure she's into you.
Okay.
Oh, Olivia Delabarth. Hang on, in case you guys forget what she looks like. Where's she at? Miss Delabarth.
Yeah, got no problem with her being into me.
At one time, the assistant to Dr. Fanu. You're not exactly sure what her role is there now, but she's apparently still working at the hospital. So,
yep.
Miss Delabarth. Yay. So you got at least 7 or 8 o'clock before she comes by. What else you doing?
Okay.
I saw it on set he had important things to look into and stalked out a couple hours ago.
I'm going to check into exactly what I can promise to help get the hospital actually helping people,
Like what?
like money,
Oh,
like a monetary investment to help the people of Camaret-sur-Mer.
well, it's technically owned by the church, so you
Oh, you know a
could.
guy in the church you can
You
put.
donate to the church.
But you know that if you just donate to the church, it's going to mostly go to the archbishop.
Pretty much, yeah. What would you say, Lloyd?
I said, I know this guy in the church you can call. I'm sure he'd be willing to help.
Yeah, no, this would be like a direct donation to the hospital kind of thing.
Well, you can totally do that.
Like yeah,
charities do fundraisers.
a fund, a fundraiser, just some kind of ongoing thing to help out.
A foundation, perhaps.
Yes.
Who? Well, you've met some attorneys in the past few years, not all
Yes,
of which are.
and some of them have been sane.
Yes, some of them have been reasonable, well-meaning people. So you called up a couple of those, and you mentioned the Saint Benedict's, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait, wasn't it the place that had the murders in the basement?"
Yes,
and you
that's
explained that yes, but that
exactly
wasn't
why.
the hospital. That was this one crazy doctor, and
That is exactly why we need to be helping them. And right now, public opinion is against them, and that's why they need the help.
okay. Well, you sway somebody with your plea for charity, and they say, okay, well they'll look into it. There's some laws that you have to work around when it comes to donating to the church, if you actually want your money to go to a specific thing. But that's not a new problem, so there are ways to work around that. And they'll spend a couple of days working on some paperwork, and they'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, also, nice to hear from you.
Also, it'll be nice to have like someone on the board so that I can keep an eye on this place and make sure these things don't happen again.
Okay. Well, apparently,
If
like
we
nobody
can
who actually
arrange
worked there
something like that.
knew what was going on. So.
Yeah,
It's all super secret.
no. Part of this is to help the people, and part of this is to keep an eye on the place in case someone should try to use it once again for.
Nefarious purposes.
Yes.
I see. So, Leslie and Carol,
Because
what are you doing with your
give
evening?
your GM plot hooks for next time.
What are Leslie and Carol doing with your evening?
Well, I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what the. I'm basically waiting for the shoe to drop, but there's probably nothing I can do. So I'm just gonna go enjoy myself.
Barricading yourself in your house with a large caliber is yet small automatic weapon.
No, if they want me dead, they're gonna kill me.
Okay.
But I've got a gun on me, so I'll just go ahead and hang out if it's until it's hang out for a little while at the cafe. It's really more. It's probably safer there than at home. I don't have a demon guarding my house.
Actually.
Oh, you should get one. I highly recommend.
Yeah, I've found this one ever so useful.
Maybe that could.
Scary, but useful.
Maybe that could be my favor.
I need you
You
to
know
roll some
what?
dice, Carol.
I wonder if you're not intending any violence. I wonder if you could jack one from Montan's living room.
Yeah, no. Anyways,
Oh my God, I see a possibility here. No, serious. I could see the little buggers that I sent after Montan stealing it and giving it to one of us.
anyways,
Next chance I have, Johnny, I'm going to have to inspect that thing. There are a couple of just horrifyingly interesting things I want to see if I can do.
mm,
I want to see if I can break it.
Purely theoretical, I'm sure. No, I don't want to break it. I want to reprogram it.
I was going to say, try not to die in the meantime.
Um, at some point earlier in the evening, Carol got a note from her boss. So you were there at the. Let's see. So you were at the club, and then you were at the crime scene, and then you came back to the club. A courier comes by with a note for Carol, saying that your boss wants to see you at the office.
All right. What time is it at this point?
Like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, if it was during the day, still, I would have gone in and put in a. I mean, I probably have already. I would have gone back to work, but if it's in the evening, I thought it was in the evening. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So you were there during the day. Then you reported in, you said what happened and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, I guess you go home, change, and then go to the club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
so by around 7, you're probably at the club then.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I would have submitted a report, especially if it means I can close out any possibility. It may show that there's, I can close out the files for this.
Deputy Director Petronovich seems satisfied.
Yes.
Carol, she says, and she doesn't usually use your first name. She says, would you like to have your boss's position?
That is a possibility. Why are you planning to promote him out of his position, or?
Oh, I hadn't thought what to do with him. But you're competent, but you don't seem particularly ambitious. And that's okay. You're only human.
I have found that around here, being overly ambitious doesn't work when you're a woman. But yes, was working my way up. But I would be interested in advancement.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Thank you.
You can go.
Thank you.
So let's see. Oh, Leslie, what are you doing?
You said it was at the point we were talking, the 4:00 in the afternoon.
Well, she's at one point it was 4. I'm trying to figure out what everybody's doing during the early evening before.
Okay.
7
well, I don't
to
know
8
what
o'clock.
time the new now, thanks to the new laws, Johnny Diamond's club actually opens.
Whenever he wants. It's
a private club. Whenever.
Still actually you have a pile of regulations and laws you've got to follow as a private club. They're just different regulations and laws.
Well, the reason I was asking is if they're not open now, the band's probably practicing there.
Okay, that sounds fine.
In which case, we are the demons everybody's supposedly afraid of, since that's what the church says anyway. I'm not worried.
So, early evening, the band's playing, experimenting, some weird Celtic jazz fusion stuff. Alrighty. So, eventually, like 7, 8 o'clock, whatever time you have previously arranged, the club actually opens to its private clientele, and people come on, start filing in.
Which means we probably will go just to playing a set.
Yeah, the crowd isn't what it was when it was actually open.
Well, we're going to be experimenting a lot to find out what this crowd likes. So
yeah, this is an experiment, and when we get our paperwork finished up, we can always go back to being a regular club, but
meanwhile, the band is going to experiment with what this new crowd likes.
All right, cool. So around 7 o'clock, Carol comes in after working a little bit late, going to her apartment, relaxing. You were around dead bodies earlier, and the smell is still kind of in your clothes, so you take a good long while getting cleaned up. As I would imagine most of you might do, come to think of it. let's see, band's playing, Johnny Diamond's there. Dr. Celadon, when do you find your way back to, or do you? What do you do?
Yeah, eventually I will. The next thing that I want to do is going to have to take place late at night. So
Okie dokie. So we'll say right around 7:45. Let's say 7:45.
yep.
Miss Della Barth comes in, looks around. She's putting money back in her purse. Apparently, she had to pay to get in. That's weird.
Well,
Oh no, she'd have been on the VIP list. I'm sorry.
Oh, you knew she was coming, so you could just say something to the guy at the door. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So she comes in, she's looking around, sees Johnny Diamond over somewhere, and walks over to you.
Hold on just a second. My fan accidentally stopped, and the room gets stuffy without it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So she walks over.
Yeah, and she says, "Mr. Diamond, hello."
Mademoiselle de la Barre, please have a seat.
Please call me Olivia. You've been such a help to the
Olivia.
hospital. I feel like you're a friend. Perhaps more than a friend.
In that case, Olivia, call me Johnny.
Blushes a little bit. Okay, I'm not super comfortable role playing the whole flirting thing,
Yeah.
but she's not coming on super strong, but she's clearly into you. All right, so yeah, you take her over, sit down, have a drink or whatever, and just shoot the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't really
tell her the
have
whole,
stuff to say to you other than shooting the breeze.
Yeah. A terrible thing that happened with the doctor.
She acknowledges that, but the topic is clearly makes her uncomfortable. She thanked you for what you did, as far as that goes, and now you get the distinct feeling she doesn't really want to talk about that anymore.
No, I understand it's uncomfortable, but no doubt some funds were reaching the hospital through her benefactors.
I don't understand what benefactors.
Oh, you sweet summer child, you are as beautiful as you are innocent.
Don't. Oh, what the hell's the word?
patronize?
Patronize. Thank you. Don't patronize me. What do you mean benefactors? You think someone was paying her to do those things?
Oh, I'm sure she couldn't afford the equipment on the hospital's income.
She stops to think
On
about
the
that.
hospital's finances.
I mean, give her a roll. I mean, she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but she's no dummy either. Oh, that's a good roll.
Yeah.
She was like, you're right. There's no way. I just guess I assumed it was her money.
Well, don't worry. I've contacted a lawyer about setting up a fund to help make the difference, whatever it may end up being.
To help the hospital?
Yes. I, as you can tell, I am not from around here.
No.
I say in a real thick Quebecois. But I have come to find...
Your delightful accent makes that quite clear.
But I have come to find that this is my home. The people of Cameray-sur-Mer, they are my neighbors.
Wow. Okay, she's flabbergasted, speechless. It just kind of like looks at you like you're a combination Santa Claus and James Bond. So
Yes, no, I'm not sure right now how much I can promise, how much I can do. Perhaps only 1 or 2 fundraisers per year. As you see, we've had our own problems here and had to go become a private club.
is that what that was about?
Yeah,
I didn't know what was going on there. I thought maybe well, anyway, I didn't know what was going on.
temporary, a stopgap measure.
Behind her, you see the detective inspector come in, followed by a couple of police officers,
They found something else.
and he doesn't look happy.
They found something else. Carol, you were right. The shit just fell.
But yeah, the other shoe just fell. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Forgive the
Diplomacy.
expression on my face.
Actually, make a diplomacy roll, Johnny. Your eyes meet Detective Seagal's, and I'm going to see if you get what he's putting out.
Only a 15 that time. Which is actually really close to an average roll. 16.5 is median for this roll for me.
He's actually wants to communicate with you, so it's whether you... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. He has bad news, and he wants you to stay out of it. That's the look he's giving you. It's like, sit down. Stay sitting down.
You were already going to stay out of it, so...
Walks over to Carol. Menzel,
Hello?
would you step outside with me, please?
Sure.
Cool.
Thank you.
Listen in.
Do excuse me, Olivia, and I motion to the inspector.
He just
When
he just gives you like a little curt no. Mm-mm.
you should have stayed unambitious, it sounds like.
9,
Okay.
10. Okay, 10, 11, 12. Oh, no, it's magic. 13, 14, 15. You need a 15, Lloyd,
Hey, okay.
for the listening. I assume you, like,
Eight.
remotely.
Yes. Rolled an 18.
Oh, awesome. That's good enough. I mean, it's nothing crazy fancy. I mean, it's like literally just making your... so you can hear it a little bit better. The detective, like, helps Carol with her coat. He's being very polite. He walks behind you as he gestures for you to go ahead of him. The police officers kind of bracket you as you walk outside. When you get out to the car, he's like, Mamselle, I'm afraid I must ask you, where were you between approximately 4:30 and 5 o'clock this evening?
Was that when I was at work?
No, you were home getting washed up.
Ah.
Like you had just got home.
I was at home.
I don't suppose there's anyone who can corroborate that.
Would there be?
Nah.
Apparently, I'm guessing, unfortunately, no.
Would you please open your purse for me and take out your driver's license?
Sure.
It's not there.
It's not there?
And you know how you have a purse, and inside your purse there's like a smaller purse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's called a wallet.
There you go. That's not there.
Well, her frantic searching for it should probably show him that she's surprised.
Yeah. It's like,
Is it
That's what
possible
I'd be
that
doing,
you...
frantically searching for mine. And
Oh,
my God, oh my God, oh my
Is it-
God.
Is it possible that you dropped it somewhere, Memsel?
it's always possible because apparently it's missing. It was there earlier.
Well, is there any chance that you dropped it at Rue de Crescent? I know it's a stupid name. I just think of something. Rue de Montagne. Because Rue de Crescent, that's just stupid. Rue de Montagne? Is it possible you dropped it at the Rue de Montagne approximately 4:30 to 5 o'clock this evening?
Did she
You were nowhere
recognize the
there.
name?
You were nowhere near there.
No, because I have not been there.
Well, here we have a difficulty because we have a witness who identifies you and described you quite plainly, including what you're wearing right now. Running away after having drained the blood out of what appeared to be a homeless man in an alley just off of the Rue de Montagne. When the person the witness saw realized that she had been noticed, she fled, dropped her purse, gathered the things up into it, and continued running, leaving behind her wallet, which had her identification, which has your name on it. So you can see how this puts me into a rather uncomfortable position.
Yes.
Mademoiselle Desjardins, I'm afraid I must arrest you for the murder of an as yet unnamed homeless man at approximately 4:30 this evening. Do we need to use the handcuffs? I don't think so.
No, sir.
Just get into the car.
Yes.
He opens the car door. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, I appreciate that you are being a gentleman.
If there weren't a witness, perhaps we could do something. But it is out of my hands. Clunk. So, Doc Celadon hears all that.
Right.
Johnny Diamond is sitting there making small talk with Olivia. Leslie's in the bandstand practicing. What are you guys doing?
Walk over to the bandstand where Leslie is.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, you want to help me out here?
I look
It's
at
gonna
the
be-
guys. I look at the guys and the girl and say, "Can we call it for a little bit?"
Sure. We've been going at it for like an hour, and my glass is
Okay.
empty. So
Yep. All right, guys. I guess chill. I'll be right back.
they light stinky French cigarettes.
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, they just grabbed Carol for murder. Somebody lifted her purse, or somebody lifted her wallet and left it at the scene of the murder. However, their major piece of evidence is the fact that somebody made her at the scene.
That's impossible. She wasn't there, was she?
Exactly. So I want to make it even more impossible. So I need you to dress up in drag for me.
I don't have to dress up. I can change my form.
Exactly. Exactly. Follow me.
Okay.
All right, Brandon, logically, the police car has got to take a certain route to get back to the police station.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find a place where we can intercept it, and Carol Desjardins can walk across the crosswalk directly in front of the police car.
I like that plan. Wearing exactly what she was wearing.
Exactly.
Johnny
Probably
continues
that
to make
plan.
Johnny continues to make time with Olivia. He agrees.
Sorry, dude, you got a booty call going on. We'll
Yeah, this is fantastic. Works for me.
So, the police. Oh, but the police escort Carol out, and Olivia does notice that because that's pretty noticeable. She's like, "Wait, isn't that your friend?"
Which one?
Olivia says this to Johnny.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and at some point you'll see me and Leslie
And
go into action.
And then I watch the two of those leave.
Hustle
go,
off.
And so are they.
So,
Having worked with these three, I'd say everything is under control.
Okay.
Either that or she's about to catch on fire. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I do hope she's not in trouble.
Oh, she probably is, but hopefully not for long.
Well, I'm sure whatever it is will be resolved.
It's her name that's next on the list. First, Johnny had to get thrown into the prison, and then I had to get thrown in prison. Now Carol has to get thrown in prison.
I got thrown in prison.
Oh, that's
yeah.
arrested too, right? All right, sorry, Leslie.
Yeah.
It's Leslie's turn.
I tell Olivia, I'm sure if she's still locked in the morning, the SIT will have something to say of it.
Oh, that's right. Carol did get apprehended at one point,
Yeah.
and her boss came and bailed her out, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So you do
Well,
not.
we'll do what Doc Celadon has planned.
You do
Have
not.
a doppelganger in front of the car at a stop sign, a stoplight.
Okay. So a couple of different, because his time is critical. You've got to beat the car there. You got to know where they're going to be. You got to beat them there, and you've got to make a believable but not too believable facsimile of Carol. I mean, you can't look exactly like her because that's just going to be
No, I
weird.
would make a couple differences.
So it's got to
Something
look
that can be seen from a different distance and still be suspected to be her.
someone who can be
But if you look
mistaken
real
for Carol.
close,
Yeah,
yeah, but if you look real close, you know it isn't.
right. Okay, so let's roll some dices. Who's gonna be doing the
Well,
traffic?
since Doc Saladon has to find the place to take us, I'm gonna let him roll those dice. And I will roll the dice to make my facsimile look reasonable.
Let's see. Driving, piloting. Piloting. Yeah, piloting. Reason, I think, because you're not really racing, you're predicting. So
Right.
make a piloting reason roll.
And you can boost the car a little
I don't actually
magically,
have
I'm
piloting
sure.
skill,
If you don't have piloting, then roll 2d6 plus your reason. Oh, if I predicted this game correctly, there will be combat at some point.
Yeah.
Might not be, but there might be. And if that happens,
I've been loading up for combat for like 3 games now.
well, you keep dodging the combat and just solving things.
Yeah, we keep thinking our way out of trouble.
Yeah, well, you keep thinking your way out of the combat. But everybody's got 1 plot point except Doc Celadon has 2. So
I
Never
rolled a
mind.
13 on the reason / piloting roll.
okay, what I roll? I rolled something against you.
Oh,
You
and
needed
I used that plot point last week.
Oh, so you just have 1 then? Okay.
I have
You need to roll a 9, and you got a.
13.
Oh, you get there like a full 3 minutes ahead of them, give or take.
Okay.
Long enough to like scope out the intersection and decide like which way Leslie should be walking, et cetera, et cetera.
And it
So-
has to be from a distance that from the distance I look like her, but I'll walk and get closer and they'll see just somebody who looks a lot like her.
And you also have to plan your escape because you don't want them to capture you.
Pass in front
Well,
of
that will be easy. I run like hell and then teleport.
Okay, make a disguisey sort of roll, Leslie.
Yes.
What were you saying, Lloyd?
I was suggesting to Leslie that he pass in front of their car in the crosswalk.
Yeah, but I want to come from a distance so I look like her from a distance, but the closer I get, I don't look so much. Okay, am I rolling, since I'm rolling in my thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy plus presence.
Presence, okay. Let's see.
Mimicking another person is difficult. So
Which
14?
makes it better.
14?
that is exactly what you needed, actually. So,
Okay.
yeah. Leslie transmogrifies into from a distance, a believable facsimile of Carol, but up close is clearly. Do you look like a woman, or you look like a guy dressed like a woman?
No, I look like a woman.
Okay,
Because I can change my form.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, big ass moth in the
I'm
window.
fairy. I don't care about sexual things.
I just wanted to know what you look like,
Since
so
I'm
that when they
away.
see you,
Yeah.
what they see.
No,
that's
it is
all.
a woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Is
I am a
is she
woman.
wearing a wig to look like Carol? Is it clearly a disguise, or is it just somebody who looks like Carol?
Somebody who sort of looks like Carol, but the differences are, maybe eye color, maybe
Height.
this facial structure is slightly different, that
Okay.
kind of thing.
What were you saying, Lloyd, before?
About the same body type, though.
I'll make sure that I'm not in the area that I can be seen either.
Makes sense. Hey, police car stops at a stopwalk at a stoplight, and
And I just
Leslie,
walk right across.
as Carol, just crosses right in front of the car. Let's see if they notice. They might not.
Well, I'm going to look as, provocative, because I'm walking like an attractive woman. Just trying
Okay.
to get noticed.
Well, the 2 police officers are in the back seat with Carol on either side of her. The detective is in the front seat in the passenger seat, and there's the guy driving the car. So the car is packed. The car stops at stopwalk. A woman walks past, and Carol, you see Detective Seagal like put his hand on the dashboard and like lean forward, and then look back at you, and then lean forward and look at Leslie, and then look back at Carol. And he points at Carol and says, "Stay right there." And he gets out of the car and starts chasing Leslie.
I see him chasing me, and I get wide eyes, and I run.
Okay,
like,
it is a race.
A criminal to do.
It is a race. Make an athletics agility roll.
And if I can get to a point where I can teleport,
or shape change back.
Or, well, yeah.
Anytime, just hit a crowd and become somebody else again.
So what am I rolling? Athletics, which is brawn.
It's it's agility. For this particular test, it's agility.
Well, I have athletics. I don't have agility.
You have agility. Everybody does.
Okay. Oh, agility. So I'm just rolling with agility. Okay.
You're rolling 2d6, and if you have the athletic skill, you add your agility.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so my total is 12.
Which is way more than he rolled, because he rolled a 3 plus his own agility.
In other words, he's a fat cop.
He's not fat.
Even if his agility is a 6,
he rolled lousy.
No, he's not fat. He's in decent shape. He just doesn't roll a 12. So he runs after you, and you dart down the street, and you bob and weave, and you go past a newspaper newsstand, and he just running past the newsstand, and he looks around, and you're gone. He'll jog down the street and look down alleyways and look under awnings and open a door, look in a doorway, that kind of thing. And Carol.
By that point, I probably look like a street rat.
By that time, you're somebody else entirely. A few minutes later, Carol, he comes back to the car, which has now pulled over to the side of the road. And he gets into the car, and he looks at the cop in the driver's seat. It's like, "Did you see that?" And the cop in the driver's seat says, "Yes, sir, I saw that." It's like, "Did that woman look just like the woman in the back seat?" And the guy in the front seat says, "Well, not exactly like her, but yeah." And he's like...
And I ran, which means I was guilty.
Whereas I calmly got in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You were still in the car. Yeah. And he looks at Carol. Because he's not stupid. He goes, "Well, you understand we will still need to take you to the police station for an interview.
Of course.
But let's say for the moment that you're not under arrest. Okay?"
Okay.
Okay. And he gestures to the driver to continue driving. So you go to the police station, and assuming nobody comes and breaks you out, they ask you questions. They introduce you to the security guard, who looks... Wait, I found a picture of him. There he is. This gentleman.
Okay.
Leon.
Okay.
Introduce you to Leon. Leon says, "Oh no, yeah, this is her. Yes, this is her. It's the woman I saw. She had a apparatus, and she was doing something, and had a big container like a milk jug. And I don't know what she was doing. And then I told her to stop, and she saw me, and she ran away, and she dropped her purse, and then she picked the things up, and she continued running. And then I called the police, and that is what happened. That's her. I'm positive." And Detective Inspector Seagal says, "Well, the thing is, on the way here," he points at himself and the other officer and the other two officers who were in the back seat, who probably didn't actually see anything. He says, "We saw another woman who looked from a distance of, what would you say, about 10 meters, Marcel?" "Oh, I would say about 10 meters, monsieur, yeah. About 10 meters. Could have passed for this woman. Very similar outfit, very similar hair. So, can you look at this woman's face and be certain that this is who you saw?" And he's like, "Well, I did not see her face clearly. I only really saw her clothes and her hair." He's like, So you can't be certain that this is who you saw. He's like, "Well, I suppose not. He's like, well, it's just an honest mistake, monsieur. We will definitely put out a bulletin to look for a young woman who matches this description. Thank you so much for coming. He's like, but you're going to find her. She killed that man. He's like, yes, absolutely. It is our highest priority. He's like, is this connected to the vampire? No. That was solved. This is something completely different. So thank you so much for coming in, monsieur. And they like usher the security guard out. And Detective Seagal comes over to Carol, who's sitting in like a waiting room or something, and says, "Okay, well, I think that you have had just astonishingly good luck that we just happened to see someone who fit your description on the way here. Astonishingly good. You should feel very grateful for that.
Indeed.
You can go if there's nothing else you have to tell us. There isn't anything, is there?
There is.
No, I didn't think so. Okay, so you have a lovely night, Mademoiselle Desjardins, and let's hope we never see you here again."
I will agree with that. Thank you.
Till Johnny,
I
dinner's
will
on
make it
him
a
next
habit-
time.
I will make it a habit of in times in the future putting on that disguise again and just wandering around the city just to be seen.
It's like Elvis
Anyways,
or
I'm
Bigfoot.
sorry. Brandon, what was that last part you said?
Oh, tell Johnny dinner's on him.
I will. That will be quite humorous.
So, Dr. Sullivan and Leslie out and about the town. What do you do next?
I was just gonna go to the police station and keep listening in to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary happens, so that I don't actually have to bust Carol out of jail.
No, it goes pretty much like I described, and then she
Okay.
walks out. Oh, with a police officer who's going to drive her back to anywhere you want to go, actually.
Oh, might as well head back.
Marcel drives you back to the club.
Fold up the
Mercy.
newspaper and I'll walk back to the club.
Remind Marcel that memberships are available and inexpensive.
All right, that's just gonna I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yep, thank him and head on inside.
He apologizes profusely for the misunderstanding.
You are just doing your job. Thank you.
Okay, wait for Lloyd to come back, I guess.
Yep.
Let's see. What else could we be doing? Oh, Leslie, do you want to follow up on your fairy mischief?
A little bit. One more appearance for the day, and then I'll wait till tomorrow and do it a little bit tomorrow.
No, I meant the low level fairies you
yeah,
sent
sure.
out to.
And I guess I'll actually do it sort of as, I'll head in that general direction looking like that offshoot of her. And then change, I'm going to hit Monton's house if I know where it is. And
Oh,
do
it's
it-
outside of town. It's a mansion outside town.
Well, any parade
Probably
that I know
probably
is
St.
inside.
Barb. That's where
Okay,
the rich people are.
yeah. So
All
I'm
the
gonna-
gangsters live in St. Barb.
Okay, so we'll walk around. We'll walk around a little bit as the Carol offshoot, and then we'll go and check things out in St. Barb or whatever it's called.
Oh, I figured you would just like call them to you for a report or something.
Nope, I'm just gonna go walking around a little. Maybe I'll call on them later, but right now I want to cause some new fairy mischief, like
Like what?
being this look-alike for a little while.
Okay, well, you
Every
spend
once
the
in a
evening
while.
roaming around as Carol,
Yeah,
causing.
or the Carol-ish look-alike.
We had a Carol sighting. Back at the club. Okay, so that's you'll be doing that for the next couple of hours. So back at the club, Olivia's very pleased with Johnny's company. So
Oh yes, and some of
However,
those
she
walkings
doesn't-
around will be when I know Carol has an alibi.
well, I assume Doc Sullivan at some point would let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically continue to charm her and
Well, she's thoroughly charmed.
yeah. Continue to be charming.
Okay.
Um,
Let's wait for Celadon to come back, and then... Do you want to take a bathroom break real quick?
yeah, sure.
Like 5 minutes? Okay. I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. We are back, I think. Yes, we're back. Alright then. So, who gets back to the club first? Leslie, Doc Celadon, or Doc Celadon, or Carol? How do you think this will work?
I imagine Carol will get back first because she's driving or being driven,
Okay.
or Leslie. But I'm actually kind of jogging to get back there, so it may take me a minute.
If I get
Okay.
back, it would have to be via teleportation. So, because I'm walking.
Okay.
I wouldn't imagine it'd be that far.
No, we're not that far now.
Okay, so Carol first then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's see. Johnny Diamond is... Are you still having drinks with Olivia? She seems perfectly happy just to hang out with you and have drinks. It's not that late yet.
Yeah, seems a reasonable way to spend the evening to me, unless something else comes up.
Nah. So you guys just shoot the breeze. The topic of that circus will come up, and you'll regale her with the story of how you solved the murder, etc., etc. And she'll be duly impressed and doe-eyed at how amazing you are. And then Carol comes back in, not escorted by a police officer. He opens the door for you, Carol, and basically stays and sees that you get to the door where you're going. And then he says, apologizes profusely for the misunderstanding, and then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carol comes in. Yay!
All right. Well then, I think I'm going to need a drink after that one.
Bartender pours you a drink. Tonight's game brought to you by Cola O. So, Johnny...
By the makers of Oh No Cola.
Cola O. It doesn't taste like Coke because it's not. So... sorry, I thought that was funny. So anyway, Johnny, Carol comes in. You pay attention to her, or you keep paying attention to Olivia?
Oh, I do note that she's back.
Okay. So Carol, at the bar, get a drink, or at a table? The place is not packed. It's probably only about half as full as it was when it was actual restaurant. So just there are empty tables if you want one.
Well, if I haven't had dinner yet, they still serve. They serve food here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If it's early enough that I still haven't eaten, then I'll get a table.
Okay.
I probably will get a table anyways.
All right. You go sit at a table. You order some food, get a drink. A little while later, let's say Doc Celadon comes in.
I'll go to the bar, get a drink, get 2 drinks, and then go sit at Carol's table.
I have a bottle of wine on my table.
Oh, okay. Fleur de Roche is the wine Carol's drinking. Doc Celadon comes over with a drink in each hand. Sits down.
Well, Carol, you should, in the future, you really should try and make a better effort to stay out of trouble.
I know.
Apparently, accosting and murdering homeless people on the streets of Camargue-sur-Mer just is not the done thing these days.
I know. Really, I do need to find better hobbies.
I forgot one thing. As you were leaving, Detective Seagal slipped you your wallet and told you that you really needed to take better care of that.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, continue with what you're saying.
Anyway.
Stay out of trouble.
So yes, even apparently Detective Seagal was capable of figuring out that somebody built a very impressive frame for you.
Yeah, so yeah, this definitely hasn't ended. But I didn't think it would.
Where could they have nicked your purse?
Well, I did walk to the office and then walk back home and then walk here. So, you know,
When's the last time you saw it? When's the last time you can state with any certainty that you saw your wallet?
I
Lunchtime?
had, yeah, lunchtime.
All right.
It's not like I'm in the habit of, you know, going through my purse all that often.
Well, I'm reasonably certain that the people who want to put you in the frame are capable of hiring a pickpocket if they needed to. I'm just trying to figure out whether they're actually employing magic or if this was all completely mundane.
Well, here's the purse and the wallet if you want to test it out.
Around that
have
time,
a
Leslie
suspicion I
walks back in, I would say.
And I probably know that the band's going to have to start playing soon, so I walk over to the table, see that Doc Celadon has 2 drinks, grab one of them, and walk to the band. Thanks, Doc.
No problem. Hope you like English beer.
Sure.
Okay, so anything else happening now?
Would having my you giving you my purse to test, would that be worth checking out?
Oh, certainly, yes. I will do that very thing.
Here,
Roll some dice.
walk.
As
And
a
then,
matter of
one
fact, if I don't find anything, they actually tell me more than if I do find something. All right. 22.
Okay. It is definitely Carol's wallet.
Okay.
That's really all you get.
Well, that tells you something. That it is the people that are whammying, making themselves invisible. He can't, post cog on it and find out whose hands
It's not
been
so
in?
much, it's not like obscured exactly. It's just most physical objects don't have a strong connection of like time and place or people.
Yeah,
They just
this
kind of
thing's
drift
got
through the world.
This thing has a much stronger connection to Carol than it does to the person who nicked it from her. He only had it
That is true. What you're perceiving is completely plausibly normal.
Okay. Let's see.
I do have my suspicions as to who it might have been. Not who you think it is.
How do you know who he thinks it is?
He thinks it's our Perrine connection.
I do.
I think it's her boss.
Her
Carol's
ain't that
boss?
Well, the reason I think it's her boss is because out of the blue she asks a question about becoming the boss.
bright. Oh, no, that's her boss.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Her boss's boss wanted to put her down. She certainly wouldn't do it that way. She'd turn her into a pillar of salt.
Yeah, I've been proving to be very, very useful to her.
Yeah, true.
There's a dead body, though, right, Brandon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's time for another post-midnight trip to the morgue. I'm going to ask for an office desk now.
All right. Well, I guess it's getting a little bit later in the evening. Johnny Diamond, are you going to like confer with your associates or something?
Yes, at some point.
Okay, so you bid Olivia good night.
Regretfully.
Okay. Let's see.
There is work to do.
Let's see. Make a diplomacy, right, or manipulation. I mean, how heavy you laying it on her?
Oh, let's go with diplomacy.
All right. You roll it. I'll roll. I'll tell you how she takes to being blown off.
Okay. Well, an 18, so hopefully not too badly.
So you beg, pressing personal business or business or whatever. And she gets up and she says, "Yeah, well, I suppose it is getting late. I have an early day tomorrow. There's still so much to do at the hospital. Thank you again so much for your help and assistance, and this foundation you're talking about is just too generous. And then she looks over and she sees Carol, and she's like, "Oh, you're your friend's back. I didn't notice her come in. I guess everything's okay. I wonder how they explained her wallet being there, though. But I'm sure it's all going to be fine.
Oh
Thank
my
you
God.
again, Mr. Diamond. You've been such a huge help.
Oh dear.
And I hope that we can become closer friends in the coming weeks. And she's
Mon
just,
ami Olivia, I hope that we can become very close friends.
she like
in the
blushes.
coming weeks.
We'll take it a bit slowly. But I would like that. And she goes to get her stuff. Oh, let's see. She's been here for a while. She'll go to the bathroom first, and then leave.
Did anybody else miss the slip that was just made? Or
Oh, absolutely not. No, I caught it 100%. I had no idea that anything was wrong with her purse until this lady just said something.
I don't know what you mean.
Sorry, man. I really thought you were going to get lucky there.
Apparently, we got very lucky.
Oh, no. I still am getting lucky. It's just what I do with her afterward is the question.
Oh, that's not cool. Oh, bad man.
Yeah, she might do it. You
Well,
try
now we
that
know
too
what.
long.
Now we know who Dr. Fumbo's assistant is.
Yes.
Are you hoping to become one of her next victims?
No, I'm hoping to be the one who gets to... Never mind.
Well, if you don't stop her, she leaves after she visits the restrooms.
Well, okay, while she's in the restroom, Doc Celadon's there?
Oh yeah, he's drinking beer with Carol.
No.
Okay, I slide over to their table and say, something up with your purse, Carol? Your wallet, Carol?
Yes, it went missing. How did you know?
Oh. Apparently Olivia's not as good as she thinks she is.
It went missing and showed up at the scene of a crime.
Yes, she was... Olivia seemed quite surprised that you had gotten back here so quickly after they found your wallet.
Interesting.
Doc, I don't suppose she would be a person of interest.
Oh, certainly. Well, actually, this gets better because we've got another body at the morgue that we can go take a look at. And there's something hiding in the basement at St. Benedict's, and I need to go find out what that is.
The magic user that made her look like Carol, I'm sure.
Well, apparently there is someone there who's got more than passing interest in magic. So yeah, at some point I'm going to have to explain to Leslie that 2 magicians against 1 magician is a lot better than 1 magician against 1 magician.
I would imagine.
Not to mention, he'd be dealing with magics he's probably never dealt with before.
Well, you soulless Satanist types are kind of few and far between, so he may be unfamiliar with the idea.
All right.
So yeah, when the clock strikes midnight, we'll go visit the morgue again. I want to check out the homeless guy, just to see what the person who was exsanguinating him looked like.
Okay. Oh, you don't confront Olivia on her way out of the restaurant, is that correct?
I don't know.
J'accuse.
Okay. No.
All right, well then she'll come out and she'll kiss Johnny on the cheek and she'll leave.
It's better to know and not let her know.
I agree.
Let her think that she's got us all filled.
Okay. All right. The evening goes on without incident, and then you take off and head to the morgue. You meet Dr. Martin, who works there the graveyard shift. He's happy to see you. Hello again.
Well, we give him money every time we show up, so I'm not surprised.
Mr. Diamond. Mr. Diamond. Last month's pool, the most dead bodies came in on the 11th, which is the day you picked. and only 2 other people picked that day, so you get to split the pot. So it's 75 francs.
Oui.
Well done. Well done. Would you like to pick a day for next month?
Yes, I go ahead and pick the full moon night.
Okay, and you give them the 20 francs or 10 francs. If it's only
Yeah.
75, if winning is 75 and you're splitting it 3 ways, that's like
About $25.
Okay, so it's like 10 francs. Like each person is 10 francs. So great, awesome. Now, what made you? I assume this is not a social call, or is it? We
Dead
can play
homeless
cards.
Dead homeless guy.
Apparently,
Oh.
there's another dead body of the vampire.
The new victim. The new victim. Not a victim of the vampire murderer. No. Although it was made to look like it was.
Yes, exactly.
So he shows you. Actually, this person's probably like still on a table, like a stainless steel table, because they just got there. He's like, well, they only just got here. I haven't even gotten into the autopsy yet. So, but here he is, the poor gentleman. We've identified him. He pulls up his name is Jean-Claude von Hugel. So, unfortunately, Monsieur von Hugel has fallen a bit in the world. So, tells you how he's like 48. He looks like he's 68. And he was partially exsanguinated with the same equipment that was used, or very, very similar equipment, such that I can't tell the difference. It's virtually the same. But he was not suspended upside down. He was not completely exsanguinated. And I think that he was unconscious when he was attacked. Probably due to alcohol. It's judging from the quantity of it in his blood that was remaining in his body. So, there you go.
Excellent. Do a quick retrocognitive spell on him and see if I can get a good look at whoever did it.
Carol.
Really?
Carol. Like not somebody dressed as Carol. Carol.
Okay. Can I see if it's an illusion that I can look through?
Ooh, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll some dices. Let's see. I'll give you a penalty for trying to do the illusion thing. So drop a die and roll your dice, and I'll roll against you.
All right. 19.
Waiting for my dice roller to reboot. There you go. Wow. Okay. I rolled terrible.
Okay.
It is not an illusion.
Really?
Nope.
Carol, you bad girl, you.
Well, I mean, okay, let me put it a different
It's
way.
a shapeshift. It's a shapeshift.
Yes, that's well, either that or Carol killed him.
Yeah, exactly. So, Occam's razor. I'll point at Carol. Carol, you bad girl, you. Going around killing homeless people.
You got a shapeshifter, then it sounds like.
Maybe. Perhaps it's one of yours.
Actually, let me rewind a little bit.
Mhm.
No, yeah, it's an illusion, but it's a really, really good one.
Oh, okay.
I just rolled really, really badly. So yeah,
All
it's
right.
not a physical shapeshift like Leslie does. It is an illusion, but it's completely full sensory touch, feel, smell. If you were there doing this on her shoulders, it would feel like Carol.
All right.
Those of us who know magic, do you know if you need to have, for an illusion, something from the person you're making the illusion of, if it's going to be that good?
Required? No. Helpful? Yes.
Yeah, it makes it easier. Law of similarity.
Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I imagine having your purse would probably be handy.
That's true, yeah.
Well, if they had a purse, they might have her hairbrush. So.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
ooh, creepy voodoo stuff. Careful, people don't start sticking pins in you. Okay, well, that's really all I wanted to do was confirm that with the dead guy here. So, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but I'd like to sneak into the basement at St. Benedict's. There's a back door, right?
Yes.
You came out the
There's
back.
like multiple
Oh,
back
I know
doors.
exactly where it is, unless they blocked it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair-sized building. It's got actually like 4 back doors. Well, actually 2 back doors and 2 side doors and a big
Basement.
main front door and another
you-
front door.
I can take you right to the basement back door that I came out of.
Oh,
That's
then there's a
wonderful.
secret door which opens up in an alley like a block away, which is
Exactly.
how Leslie
Which I
came
know
out.
where it is.
Before you leave the morgue, though, Dr. Martin comes back in. He's like, "Oh, so you get everything you needed? Everything?"
Yes, thank you.
So, I have to ask, you don't do anything with them, because I checked. Is this a spiritualism thing? Are you trying to talk to their ghosts, or what? What? If you don't mind my asking.
No, we're interrogating them.
Ooh, kinky. Okay. All right, then. You find anything fun?
This guy, no, you were right. He's been on pretty much a downward spiral for the past few years.
Oh. It's a shame, really. All right, then. Well, you're welcome back anytime.
Great.
Have a good night.
You too.
I just made coffee if you want some.
We must dash. Can't stick around.
Oh, okay. Well, have a good night. He seems sincerely nice and authentically creepy.
It's not an affected creepy. It's a genuine creepy.
Well, considering
No, but
the actor you picked to portray him, yes, he seems very creepy.
But he's not malevolent. He's just
No.
weird. So that, for what it's worth, that does seem genuine. Let's see. Oh, so it's I don't know 12:30 or so, and you're gonna go sneak into St. Benedict's in the basement.
Yes, we're going to go break into a church. Because let's face it, our depravity knows no bounds.
St. Benedict's has a chapel, but the entire thing is not a church. Just so you know. But Leslie
So our
gets you.
depravity does know some bounds. We just don't know them yet.
We haven't hit that.
You haven't reached those bounds. They exist, but they're out there.
Let's say when we're done here, we go bust up the Inquisition. They probably go to church.
Okay. You get to St. Benedict's, you get into the basement. It looks pretty much like it did how the police left it. Anything that could be put into a box and carried away has been put into a box and carried away. The enormous vats of blood have been drained and put into something, you don't know what. But they're not like mopped clean, but
Right.
the blood that is in there is dry, and there's only enough to pool in the bottom of the vat, and it does not appear to be in use.
Okay, then start looking for magical stuff.
Make some rolls. Now that
Right.
you're here, I'll drop the difficulty down a little bit since you're actually inside the perimeter, so to speak.
Okay. All right, so just a regular thaumaturgy roll.
Sure. Reason power. Reason plus power.
Only a 17.
Waiting for my dice to roll. Okay, here we go. 16.
Oh,
Um,
17.
cool. You're not. This is not you versus the other magician right now. This
Sorry,
is
what was that here? Okay, thank you. Carry
everything
on.
cool.
Yes.
All right.
She's blending.
This is not you versus the other magician at the moment.
Okay.
This is just you scoping out what's here now. You are on the inside of a ward designed to keep people from looking inside of it. From this side, you can kind of see it. It is elaborate.
Somebody went to an enormous amount of effort to make sure that nobody could see into this place.
And there's nothing here.
Yeah, and it's not that it's like completely hidden. It's more that it's camouflaged,
Right.
which is like one step more difficult.
Question is why? There's nothing here.
Well, the whole probably genocide, exsanguinating hundreds of dead people thing was they probably found something that they didn't want people to see. Now, what else is here is an interesting question.
You did track the guy's blood to beneath St. Benedict's, but you don't see a body's worth of blood anywhere.
Yep, there's something
Or
else.
14 bodies worth of blood are somewhere. One of those bodies worth of blood is beneath St. Benedict's, but you don't see any of that.
Okay.
Is there any place I didn't get to when I was searching? Is like maybe there's more secret doors?
You can look around.
Yes.
Okay. This would be perception, I guess. Well, perception or investigation, whichever. If you've got one but not the other, if you got either of those.
I don't think I have either of those.
Really?
Both.
No, I don't.
I'm hearing like a buzzy sound. Who's
Yeah,
that?
that's the blender that was warning me about.
Oh.
So I guess I'm
okay.
only rolling I'm rolling 2d6 and not adding anything.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Let me back up just a minute. Keep that. What you're doing. Just hang on to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got either perception or wait, is perception a? I'm sorry.
Perception is a reason-based skill.
Yes, that's what I thought. Just double checking.
Yep.
If you have either one of those, roll 2d6 and add your reason.
Mm-hmm.
If you have expertise with either of them, roll 3d6 and add your reason. That's what I wanted to say. If you don't have either, just roll 2d6 and that's it. And everybody who wants to look can roll. I mean, all four of you were there,
I
right?
only rolled 5. There's no way I can do it.
Okay. Leslie looks around. You're positive you found all the doors in and out of this place.
Yeah.
Roll 14.
Let's see. I have perception, so let's go with that.
Don't you have expertise with one of those?
I have investigation and perception, and expertise in both.
Oh, well, never mind then. 3 dice. 3 dice plus 2d6. Or, I'm sorry, plus your reason.
So 17.
Blah.
So 17.
11.
Wow.
How do you get a number that low on that many dice?
I don't know. Plus your reason?
2 twos and a 1.
3d6 plus 6 is a minimum of 9. All you have to do is roll badly.
I said 11. Yeah.
That's badly. Wow, my dice thing's taking forever to do its deal. Here we go. And I'm rolling, and it's 11. Anybody get an 11?
17.
Yeah.
Oh,
11.
Jesus. Well, who got the
17.
highest? Actually, it should be higher than that. It should be higher than that. It should be at least like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I think so. I didn't see it the last time. So.
11's my low.
Yeah, Doc Celadon and Johnny both rolled a 17, so yeah.
Well, let's give this one to Johnny for a change. So everybody's like looking around. Leslie's positive you found all the doors. Carol's like, nope, no doors here. It looks all solid. Johnny's like looking at the floor, and he's like, so tung, 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 you stomp on it. What's it? What's this? And there's like because the floor is tile. It's like bathroom tile or subway tile. But you're like walking around and you're like, this area sounds different. And Doc Saladon comes over and you guys like tap on it and you can kind of figure out like where it's like here, and you like dig around and you find one of the tiles. If you push down on it, will like go dunk like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a handhold and like a car door, the little insorty things, right? And you open it up and there's a stairway going down.
It's a trap.
It's a trap door.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Well, it's probably a trap too.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Who goes down first?
Probably me.
Alrighty.
While we're doing that, though, I'm going to take the pistol out of the holster in my on my waist and just put the gun and hand into my coat pocket. So I'm holding onto the gun in my coat.
Okay. I want you to make a moderately difficult, difficulty 3, perception power roll. And so this is 2d6. It's a perception roll based on your power. So 2d, unless you have expertise with perception, then you do 3. But if you don't, then it's just, and it's just, even if you don't have perception, you still get to roll the 2d6, and you add your power. So
15.
And you are rolling against 5 plus 6 is 11. Yes. You like start walking down the steps, and you get to like the third step, and you see that there is like an invisible to normal sight, like force field, for lack of a better word, but it's not a force field in the sense of like bullets bouncing off of it. It's more like a threshold that if you cross, it will trigger a spell.
Okay. Can I think of a spell to counter it?
Oh, sure. Well, you like make a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're not turning it off. You're just going like this, so
I'm
you
just
can
changing
like
its shape.
step through it. Sure, give it a try.
And yeah, I'll
And for that,
test it.
you're rolling actually against the person who made it. So
Now you get to find out if you are more powerful than he is.
Well, Brandon's dice roll is really crappy tonight.
this is terrible. This is actually. Oh wait, I gotta. Hang on, let me redo that because that wasn't
Okay.
right. It's taken because I already used that, so I've got to do it again. Doop-a-doo-doo.
I rolled a 22.
I tell you, I'm going to open up another couple of tabs of my dice roller. That way, I don't have to wait on it every single time. I can just
Just using it and
I'll
breaking
just
it.
reload the next one and then go like that. Okay, here we go. This is you trying to make a hole in the. Holy smokes! Okay, did you get a 20?
22.
Jesus! Because I rolled pretty well. Okay, yeah, it's really well cast, but you add like a variable to the equation that makes a hole in the middle that you can big enough to walk through. You'll have to tell people where to like step over.
Okay, I will inform them that you keep your feet 6 inches off the ground on this step and duck down below 5'4". Yeah.
All right then. Assuming everybody follows directions, you go down the steps. Anybody not go down the steps?
No,
I'm
I'll
dying of
follow
curiosity.
along.
Okay. You are in catacombs. There is no electricity. There is no lights. It is dank and smelly. And there is lots of blood. And there are candles that are not currently lit, but you've got flashlights or whatever. And I assume.
Yes.
Uh,
Bag of
there's-
holding.
I have a lit torch. Yeah, it's catacombs. There's tunnels going off in every direction for a while. I mean, like you shine the flashlight down and it just goes until it just gets lost in the darkness.
Well,
A
let's
couple
find
of
the trail of blood and see where it goes.
well down there's like a little hallway, and then there's a big round room again with candles in here, but they're not lit. And in the middle of that is a great big magic circle that
Now we know
has
they're really using the.
yeah, there's like it's outlined in salt, and there's blood diagrams. It's extreme. Calling it a pentagram is like calling the Sistine Chapel a church. It's way ornate. And
What is it, like a summoning circle, or just something that a magician would use to amplify their power, or
a little bit of both. And there are vats of blood all around it.
So it sounds like blood magic.
Oh yeah, this is way evil. Well,
Evil with two
evil's such a
capitals.
limited term,
Yeah.
but it's diabolism. It's dealing with entities that human beings, aren't supposed to deal with. Fairies don't deal with them. They're just
Hell
way too
no.
scary. What?
Hell no.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
But there's nobody here. Oh, that's where this guy's blood is. It's in that vat over there. Oh, they're not actually vats. They're like more like cauldrons.
Right.
So does this look like it's been going on for a long time?
Yes, it's kind of funny in a
The
grotesque
reason I'm
way.
asking is because apparently the doctor was quite unaware of this herself, probably.
I wouldn't know. But the cauldrons, there are like 30 of them in a circle around this big circle, and they kind of have a beginning and an end. And the most recent one that you track your test tube of blood to is this one, which is the most recent. And it's basically kind of like pudding. The one next to it has been here for so long that it's like pudding that's been in the fridge for months, and it's like kind of dried out and kind of sunken down in the middle. And yeah. But it's still blood.
Demon worshippers are not known for being particularly neat.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it started in this one and then went all the way around and then till it met itself is what I'm trying to describe. As you go around the circle, the cauldrons of blood get fresher and fresher. Although you can't really see a difference until you get to like the past 5 or
I'm
so.
just wondering if when they complete this circle, we're
Oh,
going
it's
to have
done.
problems. Oh, it's done. Oh, goody.
That was the last one. Hooray!
And we're not where we could. I wonder what they've called up with this magic then.
Let's find out. Start looking around, see if there's
Are we
anything.
ready? Are we ready for finding out?
Data, information. That's all we're looking for.
Okay.
Oh, let me reload this page and I'll roll the
I've
dice
heard
on the
that
next
one
tab.
before.
All right, so what are you doing, Lloyd?
I want to see if there's anything inside the circle, anything that's been summoned.
I'll give you that for free. No.
Okay.
No, it is prepared.
Okay. Then I'm going to walk up to the circle. You say it's a lot of it's been drawn in salt?
Yeah. Like the very outer edge is salt, and it's not just a circle. I mean, it is an unbroken circle, but
Right.
it's complicated, like one of those hand henna tattoo things.
Deface it. Not
Well,
obviously.
it's easy to deface.
Yes.
It's very fragile. Just sweep your foot across it, and it's
No,
fine.
no, no, no. Not
Yeah, but
obviously.
they can redo it.
Wait, what?
Not obviously, but I want to deface it.
Oh, you're being sneaky.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Make
don't want them
a
fixing.
a
He doesn't
reason
want them fixing it.
make a reason thaumaturgy roll.
Reason.
Let's see how subtle your defacement is. Okay,
Ooh.
that's
Don't want it obvious.
just diffuse.
25.
What?
Well, it's reason, power, and thaumaturgy, right?
No, just reason.
Oh, 20 then. Sorry, 19.
Well, that's still really quite good.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's still annoyingly successful.
so at some point where there are like curves that meet, you erase just like a narrow, finest little line. Hang on. So the little finest little line. So there's like a tiny, tiny gap.
Yep.
Almost not even noticeable.
I'm wondering
Alright.
if there's anything else we can do to mess this up. Is there anything we can put into the blood to make it unusable?
It's not going to be particularly usable for very long anyway.
But I'm saying it. Apparently, blood has to have a certain property or something in order for them to do this. Is there some way to render the blood unusable in a magic spell? For instance, does it have to be pure human blood? Or any blood will do?
Hard to say.
I like the idea of just, breaking
Putting-
the circle and letting.
Yeah, but we may have to clean up the mess that whatever they let out it creates. I'd rather them not being able to summon it, period.
Oh, I have no intention of letting anybody actually summon anything.
I'm just wondering if with a little drop of my blood, I can put a curse on their endeavor.
You can try. You do magic. Give it a
Or
try.
it could make their endeavor a whole lot more powerful. We don't know.
We've lost sound.
What? I hear you.
Yeah.
Hello?
I hear you.
I'm
Hello?
not hearing anybody.
Mess with your
Leslie's batteries have run out.
Did you? Did you?
Those were
Oh,
wireless.
and there she goes. Oh, she's back. Can you hear us?
I'm not hearing.
Can't
Is
hear?
anybody hearing me?
Oh.
I'm not hearing
Yes.
anybody.
hear you.
I want to tell her to look on the cord. There's like a button that. No, it doesn't mute us. It would mute her. So that doesn't. Never mind. That wouldn't work.
Are these corded or cordless?
The one
I'm working
she's. It's got a cord, I believe.
It's got a cord, so it wouldn't be like the battery running out on a.
No. No, they're just cheap Logitech headphones. I mean, they're decent
No,
headphones,
got
but
it.
they're not anything special. What? Everything
get it?
fine?
Yeah, I think I found it. You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you fine. We always heard you fine.
Oh, I just wasn't hearing you. Okay.
Did you mute us?
I'm hearing you now.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Leslie, you're a magical creature. You can do magic. You can imbue your blood with intention. So if you
Okay.
wanted to screw up their ritual, you can put that into it. So
Yep.
roll
That's what I want to do.
reason plus power thaumaturgy roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll roll this.
Reason. 12.
Exactly what you needed. So, yeah, you, I don't know, get a sharp thumbnail and make yourself bleed a little bit and drip a couple of drops of fairy blood.
And say,
with,
nope, you're not going to succeed. No, you're not.
well, all right then. What do you guys want to do? You're down here in this dank, smelly, catacomby sort of place.
I'll take a picture.
Hey, sweetie. Hey, kitty.
Kitty.
Good night, Vixen.
Give me a kiss.
And you too, Susan.
Good night.
Alrighty. So you take a picture. Anything else?
All right. So the question
No,
is,
that's enough for what I have planned.
All right. What's your
all right,
question,
so
Lloyd?
the question I have for the group is: do we wait here until someone comes here to actually use this and catch them red-handed? Do we deface it in such a way that it's no longer usable at all?
I think
Or-
I sort of have done that.
Do we call the Inquisition again?
Oh, let them start trying. I've done something that should make them fail, but we should call the Inquisition, and as soon as they start filing in there to do whatever they do, maybe we should call the Inquisition then.
Perhaps we should just send them this photograph that I just took.
Oh, Doc Celadon, being the knowledgeable sort of magician that he is, knows that what Leslie did is going to make this go,
Crazy?
well, tits up is the phrase that comes to mind, but
Wild.
I'm sure there's a better phrase for it.
You probably don't want to be down here when it happens.
Yeah, no, I think the phrase is it is going to go wild, and that's WYLD.
LD. Yes. No, we don't want to be down
It's
here.
like a Murphy's Law kind of a thing will kick in.
In fact, we might want to make sure that currently St. Benedict's is like maybe protected in some way from the bottom.
Okay, guys. In which case, let's go ahead and back out of here and erase any evidence that we were ever here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think before we leave the upper basement, I think between the two of us, if we put some kind of protection between down here and up there, might be a good idea.
Brandon, is anybody actually working out of St. Benedict's at this point?
At
Are there
the
people
moment, well, Johnny, during his research and stuff earlier today, he would have found out that at the moment, all of the people who had been staying there and been treated there had been moved to other facilities.
Okay, then it's empty.
Halfway houses and things. The only people who were actually still working on site or like a skeleton crew, and there's probably like one orderly upstairs. Well, actually, no, not there's nobody upstairs at all now.
Okay,
So
we don't have to worry about it.
during the day, there was Olivia and 2 or 3 other people who were like just sorting through papers and trying to get things sorted out.
So
But
if they do this at night, which is one would think is when they're going to do it, it shouldn't affect anybody.
it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Then let's keep our asses out of here.
like
Yep.
if either of you use your magical senses to look up, I mean, the building's empty.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think getting out of here and letting the fallout fall out.
Okay, we'll say you get out without breaking anything.
Removing the evidence of tampering.
Close the hole in the magic.
The tripwire.
And close the
so to speak.
trapdoor.
All right. Then what? Okay, by this point, it's got to be like 2 a.m. So, what now?
A home nap.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go home, get a good night's sleep. Nothing untoward happens. Next day, nothing untoward happens.
Actually, I'm going to...
Develop photo.
Okay, wait. I'll go from my right to my left. Lloyd, what?
I'm just going to set up a surveillance on St. Benedict. Not in St. Benedict's, but outside, looking at... From a relatively high vantage point. I just want to keep an eye on the place.
Okay. The next day, around 9 o'clock in the morning, over the course of 15, 20 minutes or so, 3 people show up. They go in.
Okay.
Then, around 6 o'clock, over the course of 20 minutes or so, 3 people leave. One of them is Olivia. The other 2 are other staff people who had been working there and are apparently still working there.
All right.
Oh, the other 2 are dressed as nuns. Olivia's not.
Okay.
She's a volunteer, but she's not a nun.
Obviously, she's a Satanist.
Why would you say such a thing?
Yeah. I mean, we all know that nuns are Satanists too.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, how many days go by before you do anything fun?
Oh, I wasn't going to let much go by.
Donald, you were gonna go
Well, I was
the next day. You're gonna
gonna,
develop the
make-
film and then mail the picture.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually.
I was gonna punch out 5 copies of the photo.
All right.
One will go to my records. One will go to Carol. One will go to Doc Celadon in case he wants to send it to the Inquisition as part of this. One will be held for the police in case they ask, and one will be held in case I need to show it to Olivia as part of the great reveal of how much trouble she's actually in.
Okay. So you make however many copies of that negative
and
that
I'm
you need.
spreading it out, making sure that everybody, like, if something goes wrong, the suitable authorities end up with the data that they need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leslie, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I think at this point I will see what my fairy buddies have been up to.
Funny you should say that, because I was thinking by this point one of them's gonna come find you. So you call back your little fairy minions that you sent out, and the ones you sent to this guy's house, they made his plumbing run backwards, and the one you sent to this guy's house, they made the dogs go crazy and attack them, and this guy's house, a tree went nuts and like started attacking people, and the ones you sent to Alexander Montan's house don't respond.
Oh, he might have protections. Oh, that's right. He's got the mask. That might be considered attacking. We have a new rule for your mask, I think. Okay, I'll tell him, ask him if you guys want to continue having fun, go find some more Parain people, but stay away from this guy's house. Because I think it might be dangerous.
Okay.
I think we might have to look into this. I think I'm going to go tell Johnny that when I see him later on, I think I know something else your mask might do.
Oh?
There's a possibility that it would consider fairy mischief an attack.
Yes, I suppose it might.
Well, next time at Johnny's, I will take the time to study the mask passively.
Ah.
I don't need to eat me.
I'm missing some minions.
Well, it did seem rather glad to have the chance to chew those people into bits.
Well, it's not like pixies are normal size or normal in any way, shape, or form other than little bundles of just plain old mischief.
And what would make you think that a demon in a mask is normal?
True, yeah. The only way we could find out would be to ask Doc Celadon's friend, and we don't want to ask him that because he'll wonder why.
Yes, there are a lot of people we don't want to ask a lot of things
Yeah.
right now.
So yeah, that might be something that might be construed as an attack by your demon friend. Until I hear from these pixies, I'm going to assume they're dead.
Well, I'm terribly sorry that happened to them.
I'm very angry. But at this point, there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't want them to get hurt. I wanted them to have fun. So I need to find out what exactly did happen. But I'll do that passively as well.
Okay, roll some dice.
Okay. I'm doing it very passively. I'm not doing this in any way to
Okay.
10.
Well, you can take extra time to compensate for the fact that you're trying to be inconspicuous about it.
Yeah. I rolled a 10. Do I have to add anything to it or no?
Your reason and your power. You rolled a 10, your dice, and 2 dice?
Yep.
Wow.
So that'll take it up to 18.
Wow. Yeah, you rolled several more than you needed. You know exactly where they are. They're just not alive.
They're not alive. Okay. So did the mask kill them? Do I know that?
You'd have to actually go look at what's left of them, I guess.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm assuming the mask got him then.
You
So
can assume
mischief
that.
Yeah, I can assume
They're
that,
all
yeah.
in the same place, and it is in St. Barb, and they are not alive.
Okay, you said they're inside his house or they're in the
I didn't say. I said St. Barb,
Barb. Okay.
which is that part of town.
I
where
think I
where
might
he
go
lives.
to that part of town, but once again, we're going to be very surreptitious about it and try and look at the bodies.
You going alone?
I'm going to bring anybody who wants to come with me.
Doc Celadon, meanwhile, because that took a while for Leslie to do that, to be subtle but also successful. And you're reasonably sure you didn't trip any alarms by doing that. But you don't have like a mental picture of where they are, but you could walk there unerringly or drive or fly or whatever. So it's more like you know how to get there.
Actually, it might be safer for me to go alone because I can go in the form of some kind of animal, which would be unnoticeable in the city.
So you go off and do that for a bit. I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
Doc Celadon spends hours and hours and hours studying the mask. In the vernacular, it's called a contract, but it's really more of an equation. A really, really complicated equation that the result of it, if you were to make a graph of it, is the behavior of what is locked inside. It can leave at any time and go back where it came from, but it doesn't, because it's a willing participant in this equation, which dictates the time and place and manner and circumstance that it can act in the mortal world, which it likes to do. So that's kind of how that thing works.
Okay.
It's very complicated, but essentially it defines the parameters of the room and the owner of the room and what constitutes an attack, essentially. And it's there's all kinds of parts involved in that. It's like anything involving weapons, that's an attack. Anything involving just physical action past a certain threshold is an attack. Like if you pat somebody in the back, that's not an attack. If you punch them, it is. If you punch them in the shoulder, it's not. If you punch them in the shoulder hard enough for them to go, ow, it might be. So there's like a threshold for that. And it's very complicated. Charts and diagrams and equations.
How tamper-proof is it?
Reasonably tamper-proof.
Okay.
You could, if you had like a day and nobody was bugging you, you could probably introduce like a new factor in the equation or take one out maybe or something like that.
Alter it slightly.
If you had like a day, you think you probably could. Of course, the downside of that is if you're unsuccessful, bad things could happen.
I'm going to get hacked. Yes.
Or it might have like wildly unpredictable consequence. Hey, kitty.
Kitty, kitty.
Like if you fail tragically, instead of that threshold of violence that it responds to could be drastically reduced.
Yes.
So picking up your fork would be seen as an attack. So, for example, so there is danger involved in doing that. But you think if you had enough time and you're willing to take the risk, you think you could probably handle it. Is that what you're going to do, or?
Oh hell no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to poke the bear until I have to. I just wanted to know what my options were.
Meanwhile, Carol at work, your boss Guy is freaking out because his boss wants to put him in for a position in Paris, working for the SIT as a director of antiquities or something like that. And he doesn't want to go. I don't want to go to Paris. My family's in Paris. That's why I'm not in Paris.
Well,
I'm just close enough that I can visit them for, and he names a couple of like Catholic saints holidays that I am not familiar enough with Catholicism to tell you, but he does. He's like, I visit my mother on this day, I visit my sister on this day. You know, that's enough. It's enough, Carol. I don't want to go, and I don't know what to do. It's not like, I mean, it's a great honor, and if I say no, it might impair my position here. I like my position here. Help me, Carol. What do I do? Do I take it? Do I hope that I get an assistant? Oh, will you go with me? Will you come with me to Paris? If I had you, I think we could handle it. We'd make a great team.
how would I consider that? I have no family in Paris. They're all here.
Well, that'd be good for you then.
She likes her family.
I like my family.
Oh, well, of course, I suppose you would. All right.
Oh, hadn't thought of that.
Wait, people can like their families?
So how do I politely decline?
I don't know. That is a very good question. If you're right, is there another opportunity in, that's not in Paris?
I don't know. How would I know that? I don't know that.
I don't know either.
You need to know. You need to find out and tell me.
How about I look into it? Maybe there's another. Maybe you could say you're honored, but you don't want that position. You want this position. Let's see if there's another position similar. Because you
And
want to
then,
move up.
best case scenario, I don't get either of them, and I stay where I am.
There we go.
Brilliant. See, this is why I'm so glad you have me as a mentor, Carol, because this is how you learn things, by seeing how the machinery of the bureaucracy works. So, no, you're welcome. All right. I need you to find out what this other position is that I want to go to.
There we go.
Thank you.
All
Don't
right.
tell Director Petronovich, please.
Of course not.
Okay. She scares me. She doesn't blink. Who doesn't blink?
How do you know she doesn't blink? Maybe she blinks when you blink.
Do you think?
That's even scary. That's even scarier.
How does she know?
That's even scarier.
All right. Enough of that. So Leslie turns into some animal. Pick an animal, Leslie.
City animal. Like I said, last time I thought of it was rat. So that would be, or not in this
St.
area.
Barb's
This
a
is
pretty far trek, so I bet you were a bird most of the way there.
bird, probably, yeah.
Right. So you're snooping around. Actually, now in St. Barb, a squirrel would fit in a lot better than a
Squirrel,
rat.
yeah, then it'll be a squirrel.
You nose around. You find the fairies. They're in a pile of little fairy dead bodies under a thin layer of dirt just outside the brick. It's a wall, but it's not like a wall. I mean, a normal person could just like heave themselves over it. It's more of a delineation of the boundaries of the property than an actual wall. Anyway, just outside that wall, somebody like scooped a little bit of dirt, dumped the dead fairy bodies, and dumped the dirt back on top.
Does
They
it
are
look like
incinerated.
What?
Incinerated. They've been
Incinerated.
burned alive. Well,
The
presumably they
mask
were
can't.
alive.
Can the mask do that? We don't know. Well, I'll note
I
that.
don't know what his mask is capable of.
That's true. His mask might be different. I'm going to do whatever spell is necessary to, whatever the equivalent of a fairy ritual for the dead is to deal with them.
We can send them back to,
Yeah,
and they'll become one with the
with fairy, yeah.
with the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that. Wah, and they fade away to sparkles and go back to the fairy realm. The fair realm.
And become part of the land.
Yeah, and they'll spontaneously pop back into existence at some point.
Yep.
Because that's kind of how it works.
That's what I figured. And then
All
I'm
right.
going to head home.
All right. Again, no combat. I really thought there was going to be combat.
Who would you expect us to fight?
Brandon, the trap has been set. I'm just waiting for the explosions to go off.
Oh, so we're not going to call anybody? We're just going to let the explosions go off?
Well, Johnny Diamond gave all you guys a photograph of some ritual chamber somewhere, which is the place you saw. It's in the catacombs. But I mean, you can't tell that from the photograph. So, I mean, you can tell that it's a place. Anybody who didn't know wouldn't know. Leslie comes back.
I'm willing to be patient for as long as it takes, basically. Somebody is going to come back and use that ritual summoning area, and the effects are going to be quite impressive, I think.
Noisy, yeah.
Very noisy.
Leslie comes back. Do you tell people about what happened to your minions?
I'll tell him that they're dead for sure. Apparently, they've been incinerated.
Oh, wow.
So if it is his mask, it does something different.
I bet he's got wards around his property.
That's also possible.
I know if I were a semi-insane, exceedingly powerful, disturbingly wealthy man living in St. Barb, I'd probably have wards around my house.
None of the others have had so
probably no
far.
fire.
Okay. Well, if you guys are just going to sit back and wait and see what happens, I guess a couple of days will go by. And then there's the full moon. No, new moon. A new moon, because that's creepier.
It's darker.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Higher tides that way.
We add up some numbers. Let's see what we got. I'll pick a number. What does it need to be? That's a good number. So we have a total of 8, 19. We have a total of 27 versus not 30, which is the number that I picked. So, yeah. Anybody who has a power stat feels kind of like an explosion, far enough away that it doesn't like actually shake the room you're in, but you can feel it, like thunder, like extremely loud but not nearby thunder. Yeah, it's much better.
Look at St. Benedict's through my link.
I don't think St. Benedict's exists.
There is a smoking hole in the ground where St. Benedict's was.
Baby Jesus.
Well, I guess I don't need that foundation anymore.
Unless they relocate
Foundation is
someplace
currently
else.
landing in millions of little pieces all around Camaret-sur-Mer.
Yeah.
And I guess you're never going to see Olivia again.
Funny you should say that.
Wind it back and see who actually walked in, who was in the building.
Well, hang on. So this is around like 12:05, 12:10, something like that, just after midnight when this happens. Where would you all be at this time?
In the club.
I'd be in the club, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Well, at 12:05, he said, if it's during the weekday, probably unless I'm intentionally staying up late to wait for something, I'm gone home to bed.
Let's say it's a weekend. That way Carol can be there too. I mean, you got a 1 in 3 chance of the new moon being on a weekend. So, yeah. Well, several minutes later, but not that long, Olivia walks into the club looking furious. Furious.
Well, this ought to be fun.
Oh, I thought she'd blow herself up with the rest of them.
Well, I suspect we're about to find out what happened.
Yeah.
She doesn't look blown up. She just looks really, really angry.
Well,
I don't even know. If,
Ren-
I don't even know who I want to take this out on. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of you.
Get that woman a drink.
Yeah.
1, 2. Carol. Actually, that makes sense because she actually does think of Carol as the leader of your little group. So
burn on Johnny.
I did act like I was in charge when we first met, so.
Comes in, walks up to Carol, and just stares at her.
Good evening.
Enjoy it. Enjoy this evening. Because you will pay for what you have done.
And what have I done?
I am so tempted to do something unwise. But I won't.
No, do something unwise. Do something unwise.
Please.
I just wanted you to know
Um,
that I know that it was you and your people. You and your minions did this. You cost me years of work. But I'm patient. And you will pay. She's clearly, I don't know if I'm conveying it well, but she is clearly furious at you.
Yes.
So, I mean, she's mad at y'all, mad at all of you, but it's focused on Carol. Because, again, she...
I will look at Dr. Celadon and quietly say, aneurysm.
No, give me a second. I think I've got something a little bit more poetic. Walk over to Olivia and offer her a glass of wine.
That's something in the equation that I had thought of previously, but I forgot to mention it to you when you were looking at it. What the equation is configured to respond to is physical, not magical.
Right.
So, you could fireball Olivia or vice versa, and the mask wouldn't trigger.
Mm-hmm. Which means that I don't think it was the mask that got the fairies. Then.
Oh, which is one of the reasons why when you gave Dr. Finu an aneurysm, it didn't respond. Which, in retrospect, That's a good thing.
Yeah.
One would say so, yes.
Anyway, so you offer Olivia a glass of wine?
Glass of wine.
Oh, Olivia, how impulsive are you? Because I know immediately what she wants to do, what she would do with that.
And I'll cast, Brandon, I'll cast Wheel of Fortune. That's a nice generic one. Let's see what happens.
Oh, hang on, Wheel of Fortune, because I've got that in here somewhere.
She's the mage that probably hit herself.
Okay, you can grant a bonus die if it's favorable, or impose a penalty if it's unfavorable. Oh, okay, that's pretty general. What was I doing? Oh, okay, so this is let's see, keeping your cool. That's presence. So she's making a presence roll. So I did not roll great. And she's rolling against that. And I'll say she's furious, so that's going to be very, very difficult. So she's rolling against a 14, and she did not get a 14. Yeah, you offer her a glass of wine, and she smacks it out of your hand.
Okay.
Okay, I knew that's what she would probably do, but I just wanted to see if she would.
Should we get out of the way now?
Anyway, she goes smack, and the wine glass flies across the room and shatters, and
I'm getting out of the line of fire.
And then, behind her, you see the eyes of the mask go ding.
Johnny's going to go ahead and stand up now and walk over. Olivia, my love.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
You seem so upset. What's the matter?
Sit down, fool. I know who your master is. And she just glares at Carol and says, "You will pay. Everyone you care about will pay. And it won't be quick."
Oh, now this is entirely too funny. Really? You are a silly little girl, aren't you?
Brandon, can I subtly push her over the edge?
She's pretty close to the edge already.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is a refracted area in the air in front of the mask, kind of like a cracked mirror, that is kind of, coming toward you guys.
I'm out of the way.
Everybody backs up.
Everybody backs up. Okay.
At which point she turns around and she sees that, and she's actually it doesn't matter. You don't know. She sees it coming, and she knows what it is. So I'm gonna roll some dice, because this could be very, 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 very bad for her. Or
I'm gonna keep her on edge by snarking again.
Yeah. Oh well, you get the idea. Her attitude toward you is more like contempt than rage. The rage is for Carol. For you, it's just you're what you are. All right.
You are
okay.
You are such an easy mark.
So
silly
let's see what happens when she rolls.
You're backing away. Is that what's going on?
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. I never got close.
Yeah.
Doc Celadon knows exactly what she's doing. Doc Celadon knows exactly what she's doing because you spent a couple of hours earlier today or yesterday, whenever it was,
She's trying to do the
planning out how you would do the exact same thing.
Right.
So essentially, on the fly, she's attempting to adjust or modify the equation by which this thing operates.
Can you screw her up?
Yeah, cast a cantrip.
What's
it's
that?
An easy one. Burp.
Okay.
Anything to distract her. Ringing into her ears.
I get that you're trying. Hang on. Okay. Wait. You were going to do the Wheel of Fortune thing, right?
I was.
That's been done.
Okay. You want to push that on her instead?
Yes. If possible, I prefer the Wheel of Fortune. Yes.
Okay. Cool. So you give her a small penalty, all right? Which is fine, and it looks like it's very, very close. At which point, she turns and she looks at you. And she points at you. And the refracted area shifts in the air and starts approaching you.
She won. Damn it.
It's at that point you realize she's actually quite a bit more powerful than you are.
Really awesome.
Yeah. Well, you've never. It's very. The only people you've run into who are even on your scale have been almost NPC level.
Doc, do you
I
need
think
my
this
help?
is like the first person you've
Want me
actually
to
come
push
up
you back?
against. Quick thing. I know, let Leslie hold that thought because I didn't hear what you said. So hang on to it. I'm going to ask you what you said. Doxeladon, make a thaumaturgy reason, just flat reason roll, please.
Dramaturgy reason. 16.
I'll tell you what you need.
We're going to get our combat whether we wanted
But
it or not.
by the way, Johnny's
you-
gonna.
You know exactly what she did because you were studying the equation earlier. She adjusted the parameters of what it's protecting. She's made the area it's protecting very, very small and shaped like her.
Okay.
So that's what's
Well, if
going
you know
on
how
now.
to do it, you can use my power with yours.
Anyway. Okay, so what did Leslie say? What did you say before?
I said if he wants to try to push the parameters so it attacks a space like her size, that he can use my power with his. The two of us together, as he said, should be powerful enough to fight her. If he knows if he knows how to fix it.
Oh yeah, there are any number of ways to fix it.
Oh, one other thing.
Let's put
Oh,
our
sorry.
power.
I get what you're doing, and that's cool. Hang on. But one other thing. There's that whole one spell at a time thing going on, and that affects Olivia. Because the spell she just cast replaces the spell that kept her from looking like this. That's what she looks like.
She is a vampire.
Or a demon.
She's a looks like it looks like a human being who has been burned badly
Mutilated.
several times and has carved occult symbols into her skin repeatedly so that the scar tissue forms like great big welts. It's pretty gruesome.
That's from what is it? Penny Dreadful. Right?
Yeah, it's from Penny Dreadful.
So let's push let's push the demon back at her.
Oh, and she's like hairless and full on naked, but it is not a sexy naked. It is a scary, frightening,
Icky naked.
creep
Yeah.
the fuck out naked. Yeah.
Visually,
And
Penny Dreadful was an amazing.
So Doc, do we
Yeah.
push back?
It had some moments. All right, demon convention. Okay, let's
You better push back now, or you're dead.
go left to right. Let's go left to right. Donald, what you doing?
She does the change. Oh,
Yeah.
you're more than a silly piece of fluff. You're a silly piece of fluff who doesn't know what they're doing.
It's not going to attack her now.
No, he's trying to ruin her concentration. She's going to maintain that.
She's
You want to
mean,
make
if
like a
you-
manipulation roll? That's what you're doing.
Yeah, unless I can make diplomacy work the other way.
No, that would be manipulation. You can try.
15.
Unfortunately, that is not good enough. She's kind of focused on Doxeladon at the moment. But you heckle her, essentially. Carol, what you doing?
So she needs to lose her concentration, huh? Well,
That's what Johnny seems to think.
I don't think so. I think she's already thrown the spell that was needed. But if it's an area of protection around her, Doxeladon is not threatening her. So she's obviously, he's not physically or anything threatening her in any way.
yes, but somebody's activated the mask, so therefore it's being looking for that thing. That someone.
Well, she pointed to Doxeladon. Doxeladon actually did do something to her, and it was magic, which he's not supposed to respond to. But
she changed that parameter
maybe
too, apparently.
maybe she tweaked that too.
She's a demonist or a demonologist, so this is more up her line than it is mine.
Oh.
She actually is one of those people who like focus on one thing. Yeah. What you doing, Carol?
Uh,
She's gonna kill the doc.
yeah.
Do something.
Gee, I thought you were gonna make me pay.
Push her out of the spot.
Push her out of the spot. Is there? So, oh wait, sorry. There's a spot around. She's in a spot.
As far as you can tell, she's just a scary, scarred, naked,
old, yeah.
bald lady.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
At the same time, multitask. Just draw a gun and shoot her.
Then the demon will attack Carol.
Maybe.
She's got control of the demon right now. Could try shooting her. Don't want the demon to go after me though.
Pick something.
All right. Huh?
I said, "Oh no, it's hideous. You don't want it coming after you."
Yes, I'm not gonna shoot it. Her. Yeah, just. It's like. This. Okay, I'm just gonna mock her. I'm gonna use manipulation. I also have an expertise in manipulation.
Okay.
And diplomacy and all these other things. So, yeah.
You need a 14.
Oh, 14. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, and I have XP. So, I got a 16.
Okay. You say snarky, disrespectful things, I guess.
Yes.
It's like,
Going
wow.
after the minions now, are we? So,
Okay. Let's see. I'll say she went before Donald, so she won't go again until after Lloyd. Leslie, what you doing?
Like I said to Doc, we need to push the thing back at her. Do you know how? I can help you.
Yeah, I've got a really good idea. Hold that thought. Brendan?
Yeah?
I'm gonna draw the pistol that I made invisible a couple of games ago and shoot her ass.
Okay.
So I draw a pistol that does not exist and open fire.
Alrighty. You're rolling against her agility. It's your combat range combat plus agility.
13.
She doesn't expect it, so actually I'll give her a penalty on that because that's the last thing she'd be expecting from you. And I clicked roll and it's still taking forever. There we go. 10 plus my... Oh, sorry. Minus... Okay. 6 plus my agility. And you rolled what?
13.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, you plug her. Center mass. Knock her backward.
And lean over to Leslie. Now change the parameters on that spell.
Okay, which I'll do. If he gives me the mental image, that's what I'm going to do.
Agility. We'll say that was 10. You did 14, so we'll say she took 2 health from that. It's a just shot her straight on.
Did you let me know how?
She's not armor plated, so.
I assume mentally. Did you let me know how to do it mentally?
Oh, unfortunately, no. I probably didn't have time to.
That's what you should have done first.
So what are you trying to do, Leslie?
Things still look like it's coming at us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm near the dock.
Oh, yeah. Any minute now, it's going to reach Doxodon and tear him into tiny
Doc,
pieces.
We're going to take a little trip for a little bit. Because you got to show me how to do it. We're both teleporting out of there.
Okay. Make a thaumaturgy roll. Let's see. Teleporting.
Plus reason?
That's not super. Oh, yeah. Power plus reason. Thaumaturgy.
$14.
And you needed, drum roll. How far are you going? Just far enough that you're out of the room?
Out of the room, yeah.
Okay. So.
And I know this whole club.
Yeah.
So I can go anywhere.
Go in the kitchen or something. Hey, waiting for the results. Oh, awesome. You need a 13. So,
you're in the kitchen.
Leslie grabs Doxodon and then you're standing in the kitchen.
Okay, Doc, we got to do this together, and you got to show me what you know.
Oh, okay, no problem. It's like this, and I'll start explaining it to her mathematically.
Well, put it in my head. Because
you'll
if we do
spend
this together, we got to think together.
have to spend a couple of actions coping with
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I would think.
Right.
Okay, back in the room, the refracted area kind of like shifts, and let's see, nobody's like attacked her other than Doxeldon, and Doxeldon's gone.
Right.
It starts going back toward the mask. The threat has been eliminated, and that she can't. It becomes apparent, and you will discuss this later, and Doxeldon will explain. But apparently, she can't just order it around. It still is operating under the rules. She's just adjusted the rules a little bit in her favor, but nobody's attacking her. It starts heading back to the mask. It'll take it like an action or so to get there. At which point she's on the ground and she's bleeding and she sees it leaving. She's like, "Go! Go!" She's like totally losing her shit. All right then.
My dear, you'll
But she doesn't get to do something.
You'll give yourself an aneurysm.
Carol is who she's going to do something to because Carol is who she blames. Let's see.
I blame
I'm
Carol. I blame Carol too.
I was gonna say Johnny's reaction would be to try and catch her.
The funny thing is, it's probably my blood that caused the explosion.
Carol. Okay. Physical combat range. No, sorry, hand-to-hand combat. Do you have any skill with that?
Close range combat?
No, physical. Sorry, hand-to-hand.
Close combat.
Close combat. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I have close combat. Do not have
Okay.
expertise in it.
All right, 2d6 plus your agility.
All right, 2d6 is my agility.
I've taken 2 health. Okay.
11.
Wow. She crawls across the floor and slashes at your calf with her clawed fingernails and does 1 point of health to you. Ah! She seems very put out.
Perfect time to get the parameters of the mask changed back.
Donald,
Yes.
the refracted area is on its way back to the mask, but has not actually gone into it yet.
Okay.
Do anything fun?
Scary demon
Yeah,
chick.
no, I said I was going to. She got hit center of mass by the bullet, right?
Oh yeah, she got shot. She's not dead, but she got shot.
Johnny
Yeah.
will do the whole thing of catch the fainting woman and lower her to the ground.
No,
Please
she-
calm down.
she-
You'll do
He's
your...
already on the ground.
She fell to the ground and crawled toward Carol and slashed at her calf. That's what's going on now.
Oh, okay.
So she's kind of like on her elbows and knees. It's not pretty.
You can't attack her because then you'll get the refaction back out. Oh, wait a minute. She's out of the spot she lined the thing down to.
We're
Well-
not sure on that one, though.
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
count
don't
on
know
that.
about it, but Doc Celadon does.
Interesting. She attacked me and it
Didn't attack, so
Right, but if the protection is still her,
Mm.
then that would work. No, Johnny's going to go. Olivia, calm down. You'll do yourself an injury. Please, somebody
What do you
get
do,
this-
Carol?
Somebody, bring a first aid
Oh, people
kit.
are running and screaming. Did I mention this? they are,
I think we were
they are
doing
running and
it too,
screaming
right?
and leaving.
I'd say bring a first aid kit, or perhaps the Inquisition.
The staff, which has seen this before, and Arlene, who believes in being prepared, are prepared. They have the front doors open, and they're saying, this way, come on. No, everything's be fine. Free drinks tomorrow. Come on. Have a good night. Good, thank you for coming. So, there's one by the kitchen. Oh, and you guys in the kitchen, the doors plunk open, and there's a couple of staff people, waiters there, and they're saying, come on, this way. And people are running
Let's get
through.
out of their
And
way.
one of the waiters run ahead of them and open the back door and get them out. So it's kind of like a fire drill with a demon.
we'll get out of their way.
So, okay, what are you doing, Carol?
putting a little bit of distance between her and me, since I can't just shoot her because that'll probably bring the demon out of the mask.
Okay.
So yeah.
You flee. That seems a reasonable response.
Yes.
Leslie and Doc Celadon are
Ready?
meeting of minds. Not ready yet.
Okay.
And the, what? What?
In order to facilitate things a little bit,
Mhm.
move back towards the bar
Oh.
area.
Okay. You can look into the room at the doorway. People are,
Okay.
filing out, and
Okay.
see the demon is clearly heading back toward the mask.
Okay.
You don't see Olivia immediately, and then there she is. She's crawling toward Carol, and Carol's limping away a little bit. She seems to have sustained an injury to one of her legs.
Okay.
So what's just going on with you? Olivia stands up and, let's say, lunges toward Carol. Lunge is a good word, right? Yeah, let's go. Lunges toward Carol. Ah! Make a close combat roll.
All right.
Carol. Agility 2d6.
7.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
All I needed.
2 2s again. I only have agility of 3.
All I need. I rolled a 9. So she lunges toward you and digs her because her fingernails they're like claws. Another point of health. She's grabs you and wants to just tear you limb from limb. Although she's strong, but she's not demon strong. So, but Donald.
Yes. I am going to try and step between Carol and Olivia.
Intercede.
Intercede.
Okay. Make a close combat roll.
Okay.
And I will roll against you.
Brawn, I assume?
Yeah, brawn. That seems reasonable.
A 9.
Wow.
1 below median.
She's got a good grip on Carol.
Stuff.
You're trying to
I'm just getting between them.
Yeah, she's got a good. She's got a clawed grip on Carol.
Arms
You try, it doesn't quite.
get face to face.
You managed to get into the fray without actually separating them. So.
Okay. And I'm wagging a finger in her face. Look now, young lady, you are injured and really need some help.
I'm so gonna kill you so much. So, Carol, what you doing? Oh, demon is back in the mask. Back in the mask.
Okay. Well, try to break her hold of me. I do have. I hate you.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Roll some dice. Okay. Close combat brawn.
Yes.
Oh, hey Leslie, how good are you with a pistol?
Pretty good.
This one's invisible.
Okay.
If things don't go well, or don't go the way they should, use that. I think it spoofs the demon.
Yeah, I only rolled an 8.
She's on you like iron. You lose another point of health. What's your total?
I was trying to find out where is that on this thing.
It's your endurance, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, endurance. Yes.
Okay,
I'm
6.
Sorry. Yeah, so you lose another one. So you're down. How many now?
3.
Okay. Yeah, she's gouging into.
We bet the two of us better.
It's pretty horrific. Okay.
Who's Carol?
Leslie and Doc Celadon, what you doing?
Are we ready? We can go.
Let me try and bust her off of the rest of them first. Brandon, only because I've been memorizing telekinetic-based skills for the last week and a half. It's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm basically just going to slap her as hard as I can with a telekinetic spell to try and get her away from everybody else.
Okay.
But it'll take the form of a spell that I was going to use to collapse the front of somebody's building.
Okay. Okay. Your attack value is your agility plus power. Her defense value is her agility plus power, and we'll
She's
see
not
how it goes.
expecting it.
Okay. I'm very sorry, Brandon. I just rolled 3 6s, 28.
Good God.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Edwin Celadon in his previous life specialized in telekinetic-based magic.
3, 5, 9, 17. She got a 17. So, yeah, she's Carol. She's holding on to you with a grip of clawed iron, and then there is and she's like thrown back and like knocked into some chairs and stuff. So let's see.
And I'll tell Leslie to open fire.
So wait, I gotta see how much endurance she loses. So you got a what? 28?
28. It's the maximum I could roll. I rolled 3
18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, she loses 3 endurance from that.
And she didn't have this one, right?
In addition to what she took from the gun. What are you doing, Leslie?
Sure we don't want to change the mask now?
No, just shoot her ass.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a shot at her. Okay, that's agility plus that. Okay, we rolled a total of 11.
Oh, sorry, I need to roll against you.
She's not expecting
That's,
it,
that's
so.
the invisible pistol, too.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The invisible pistol.
Like
So-
invisible gun.
And she shouldn't really be prepared at all at this point.
One wouldn't think. One would.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to roll 2 things in case this doesn't kill her. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. But first, she has to not die. Oh, that's not so bad. You got a what? 11?
Yeah.
You hit her. It's not like a life-ending shot, but you hit her like a bullet in the arm. She's like screams bloody murder. However, she can kind of see the writing on the wall here, and she's very, very angry, but she's not stupid. And she gets up and runs toward her wall and goes through it.
Aww.
Okay, now's the time.
I'm not going to fight you to the death. I mean, yes, I hate you, but that doesn't mean I want to fight to the death.
Yeah.
Your death, maybe, not
We
mine.
need to fix the parameters on the demon, and we may need to fix them in a way that nobody else can change them.
Well, everything you
With
can
two of
change.
us, with 2 of us doing it, we should overpower her.
Okay.
But
After,
first,
okay, so
slap
she's
some-
gone. What do you do?
slap some healing on Carol first.
Yeah, Carol's been clawed pretty badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about
Your outfit is
Leslie
ruined.
heals Carol, Doc Celadon deals with the mask, and I call up the Inquisition to tell him about the Diabolist. That has been operating as Olivia.
At first, they assume you're talking about what they've already settled, and they're like, no, sir, we've already taken care of that. And then you explain.
So
you're on the
you
phone
know-
for a while, is what I'm saying. Because you
So-
have to
so
explain to
the-
them that what they think happened was not everything.
Yeah, so the burned woman with all of the occult symbols scarified into her flesh who just attacked me, that happened yesterday, or did it actually just happen? Because
I don't really want to
it
roleplay
looks-
that
it
conversation.
looks
So
like it just happened.
you're on the phone for like a good half hour explaining things. Leslie is healing Carol. Carol's outfit is ruined, but Carol, after Leslie heals her, you have a little PTSD from that because that was freaking awful. But you're solid. You've got blood on you, but it's your blood. But you know you're back okay again. Doc Celadon, you look at the mask. Is that the deal? Okay.
If she doesn't come back, then yeah.
Doesn't appear to be.
Give her a
And
minute.
out of character, she's not coming back. not today.
We hurt her pretty bad. Or
Yeah.
they did. We did, yeah.
And I'll give you this for free.
Spell was supposed to tear
The-
the front off the building. Yeah.
The way her specialty of magic goes, healing's probably not something she can just throw out there
Right.
like you can. It's just not how that's not how she's twisted. So
Yeah. Demonologists and necromancers don't do healing. Yeah.
it's not how that works. She has ways of doing it, but they typically take somebody else dying for that to work, and it's
Heal it. Yeah.
it's complicated. It's complicated. The mask is quiescent and stable. It's not broken. She didn't break it, but the equation's different. As long as she is in this room, it'll protect her.
But it won't protect anybody else anymore.
No.
Well, we got to change it back to protecting other people.
So,
Yeah.
again, you think with like a day of preparation, you can do this. Actually, it'll be a little bit easier than what you thought about doing before, because you can like look, because you spent like hours studying it. You can see exactly what she inserted. All you have to do is take those things out, and it'll go back to be how it was. So it's kind of like undo.
Yeah.
But
So-
do you want to have my power backing you? Because that means we're going to be, both of us will be stronger than her, and she won't be able to undo what you did.
To be perfectly honest, mixing fairy magic and diabolism just
True,
doesn't
yeah.
idea. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the old pen and paper equations kind of magic on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. You think if you have spent some time on it, you pretty sure you can do that.
Okay, then I will do so.
The demon in the mask doesn't mind, because as it is now, it can't come out.
Yeah,
So
there's nothing for it to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, really, it's okay. We're making the room bigger.
yeah, this sucks. Fix it.
Okay.
That is essentially the end of what I had planned there.
Okay. Cool. I won't need to go to that anyway.
If Olivia comes back, it's not soon, but she'll be back.
I'm sure.
Donald, good thing you didn't get lucky. Huh?
Yeah, I know.
That would have been an awkward conversation the next morning. Let me tell you.
Not really.
The conversation probably would have been you screaming and running from the room.
So what is gonna happen next week? Another scenario or something
Well,
different?
Lloyd will be out of town next week. I'll be out of town the week after that. So I think a 2-week break.
2 weeks break. Okay.
So, like
And-
November.
At some point, I'm going to start running Trail of Cthulhu again.
Okay. Or whatever
I
game
guess I
system
need
you
a
want.
character for that, huh?
No, you've already got one.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah,
You're a
it's
doctor.
our night agents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody belongs to Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, that's right. That one, yeah. I got to go find the character.
I've still got it. I can resend it to you. So.
Okay.
The Inquisition does find the hidden Diabolist ritual location underneath in the
What's left
catacombs.
of it? What's left of it?
Oh no, wait, they don't. Right, it's a smoking hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
So never mind.
We're sent.
They
we're sicking
do
them on
investigate the smoking hole.
They find bits of it.
I have a photo of what it looked like before it was a smoking hole.
They appreciate that. You are questioned. Probably sooner or later, all of you that they know about are questioned. Definitely Johnny Diamond. I don't think they'll pull Doc Celadon back in because clearly this is out of his league.
Oh,
So-
okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, really just Johnny Diamond. Yeah, they question Johnny Diamond at length, ask you about your known associates. We know that you fraternize with black market magicians. Who might have done this? And you basically flat out tell them, oh, Olivia de la Barth. Yeah,
Olivia de la
totally.
Barth.
She was like this tall, kind of smoking hot, and then turned into like...
smoking hot until she became all scarified and bald and nasty.
They do like artist renderings, and they just like this, and you're like, oh yeah, but she had like gashes in her head up here. Oh, okay. All right.
By the way, apparently she can shapeshift because she was masquerading as a friend of mine earlier that evening.
Is that right? Which friend? What friend?
It is assumed one of the
You tell them
One of
that Carol was set up by
SIT.
the same person.
Yeah.
That's plausible.
I assume that Carol's framing was done by her. If she could change herself to this, why not that?
Yeah, it's that's who set up Carol.
Absolutely how diabolism works, right?
Well, it's what she can do.
Well,
So
I wouldn't know. I'm no magician. I'm not into this stuff. I'm a good churchman. I was looking to set up a foundation to help the church take care of the poor.
They're going to need a lot more money now.
Or another location.
oh, hey,
And to be
everybody.
perfectly honest, Tom, they're going to need a foundation because there's nothing left.
Yeah. There's most of a foundation left.
Nobody died in the explosion. And it wasn't an explosion so much as it was sort of like a fiery disintegration. So.
Oops.
I'll replay it. Check this out. This is why she was so pissed.
Oh,
So
that's right. Because I forgot you asked about that earlier. Like, what did it look like when it exploded? Yeah. The lights, the windows in the building all like slowly start glowing. Then the building starts to glow, and then like sheets of flame start shooting up through it, and the building kind of like starts collapsing in, and then the ground starts collapsing in like a sinkhole.
Oh, an implosion.
And then the fire like just dies down, and then you've just got smoking hole.
And Leslie's only response is, so that's what happens when you put fairy blood into a diabolist's ritual. Okay.
It was that and
I
the
remember that one.
protective circle being broken. It just,
Yeah,
all kinds of
somebody
bad.
apparently said go to hell, and it decided to.
Yeah, that's your safety tip for the day also, guys, is if you ever see a ritual circle like that, you don't want the ritual to complete the way it's supposed to, yeah, just rub out a bit of it.
Yeah.
Those things have to be meticulously maintained.
Okay. Oh, everybody gets to experience. Yay.
Yeah,
Was that okay?
that was awesome. That was the coolest thing I have done all week.
Yeah.
Scenario for the last fun entertainment. I am going to have to find a way to get through Monton's shields, though. Make life miserable for him sometime in the near future, but this one we're going to have to work on for a long time.
Yeah, you don't know exactly what the deal was with Montand and how he was involved. You just know that he
No.
was.
It's still kind of nebulous, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm somehow don't usually care about how nebulous it is. It's just like how
He's a
much mischief I
vindictive
can create.
fairy.
I think it was bankrolling the doctor so that she would make Wolfman for it in person.
Well, I do have to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right,
So
we're going
I
to play
will
the
wish you
credits,
all good
and we're going to go.
night.
Here we go.
I'll see everybody in a couple of weeks.
Play.
Yep.
Why isn't it playing?
Have a good trip.
Play.
He's
Not
trying to-
responding.
See you next fall.
Play.
We're not going to get our closeout music.
Here we go. That was the end of this story arc for Rough Magic. Thanks for coming. This is Donald Von Griffin, Kieran Torres, Leslie Denneberger, Lloyd Montgomery, and me, the GM Brandon Blackmore.
We're gonna
The
miss
thing
the
I want you
music.
to take away from this is always proofread your magic circles. It's very important. And have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
See you in a couple weeks.
Have safe trips.
Thanks.